The following is a special presentation of TV6 Sports. The best high school football players in the UP meet on the gridiron at NMU Superior Dome in Marquette. It's the UP Football All-Star Game. Now, from your TV6 studios, here's TV6 Sports Director Mike Ludlam.
Good afternoon, everyone. We're already up to the 12th annual UP Football All-Star Game. Hard to believe already we're at that mark, and it continues to get bigger and better. Let's take a look at some of the UP football players that will continue their careers in college. Starting at Michigan Tech, the Westwood Patriots have a pair. Nate Beckman on defensive back, and Sam Gillis is expected to play fullback for the Huskies. Marquette has two players, lineman Alex Canute and wide receiver Ethan Martish. Negaunee chips in with one, tight end Theo Kumpala, and kicker Brendan LeClaire goes to Dollar Bay High School, but he played for the Hancock football team. From Calumet, linebacker Travis Ojala, Ishpeming's Hunter Smith, he'll be a receiver for the Huskies. They're looking at Tucker Taylor as a tight end. He's from Gwynn. And Luke Tarian could play multiple positions. The Kingsford Flivver, though, should be playing in the backfield. For Northern Michigan University, they have 6 UP players in this game. Logan Krulik from Ishpeming, he's on the defensive side. Ruben Spink, Superior Central's first ever college football recruit. They're looking at him as a receiver. Charlie Gerhardt, Iron Mountain's fine wide receiver. Stevenson's Montel Glover, the speedster running back, and a couple linemen, Zachary Powell of Norway and long snapper Caden Pleaser of West Iron County, but he could certainly end up at another position. We'll send it out to Mark Evans and Jerry Tudor for the first half of the game from the Superior Dome after this break.
UP Football All-Star Game shirts are available at the local TV store, and you're going to be customized with your favorite player's name and number, and take them home with you today. Get your All-Star gear right now while you still can. And now join us in welcoming the Red Team All-Star players and their coaches. Number 2, Dan Martin of Gladstone. We're going to go over the white team, okay? Number 1, Tyler Mosha of Kingsford. Number 2, Christian Green of Gladstone. Number 3, Tate Hay of St. Marie. Number 4, Chase Warner of Pickford. Number 5, Brent Lundquist of Red River. Number 6, Ethan Martish of Marquette. Number 7, Luke Terry of Kingsford. Number 8, Alex Canute of Marquette. Number 9, Caleb Walters of North Central. Number 10, Bryce DeBronzo of Marquette. Number 12, Kate Beliezer of West Benton County. Number 14, Andrew Blanchard of Lincoln. Number 17, Matthew Treywick of Ishpeming. Number 20, Willie Schmidt of Park River Harris. Number 21, Gavin Sundberg of Ishpeming. Number 22, Reese Bora of Lawrence. Number 24, Mason Scheiding of Unisig. Number 25, Brandon Christensen, Newberry. Number 34, Ashton Bergman of Westwood. Number 35, Chase Fisher of Cedarville. Number 37, Drake Sundberg of Ishpeming. Number 42, Brendan Reiderman of the Sioux. Number 44, Jacob Peterson of Forest Park. Number 48, Kyle Anderson of Menominee. Number 50, Aiden Mann, Westwood. Number 52, Lennon Terry of Rapid River. Number 54, Gregory Pocket of St. Ignace. Number 55, Andy Chapman of Quinn. Number 60, Sam Gillis of Westwood. Number 63, Blake Hewitt of Westwood. Number 64, Philip Watts of Ontonagon. Number 65, Hal Honig of Forest Park. Number 68, Dan Stirrup of Rudyard. Number 71, Colin Grover of Gogebic. Number 72, Brandon Martins of Norway. Number 73, Justin Hood of Iron. Number 74, Rick Belmere of Lugano. Number 75, Hope Albiazzi of Kingsford. Number 86, Sam Forth of Rapid River. Number 87, Eddie Polakowski of Ontonagon. Number 94, Reed DeLaurel of Stevenson. And number 99, Alex Zampese of Menominee. The Black Team head coach is Scott Sergio for Westwood. And also coaching the Black Team All-Stars are Brad Wilton from Westwood, Chad Hewitt from Westwood, Jake Gold from Westwood, Scott Mann also from Westwood. From Ishpeming, Jeff Olson, George Meany, and Kyle Rudman. These are your Black Team UP Football All-Stars. And now joining us in welcoming the Red Team All-Star players and their coaches. Number 2, Dan Martin of Gladstone. Number 3, Ruben Slick, Central. Number 5, Anthony Matson of Unisig. Number 7, Hunter Lipton of Grimley. Number 8, Bo Rondo of Superior Central. Number 9, Frank Devine of Escanaba. Number 10, Nathan Beckman, Westwood. Number 11, Sean Sandel of Menominee. Number 12, Parker Wilson of Gogebic. Number 13, Brady Eggmeyer, North Central. The red team head coach is Cody Kangas from Madison. Also coaching the
An absolutely beautiful June day, and these are rare, so it's tough to actually be inside. But until you see what we have for you, you're going to understand why we're here. Alongside Jerry Tudor, Mark Evans, UP Football All-Star Game, second year in a row for you and I, Jerry, and this one promises to be even better than last year.
Absolutely. These kids have had a busy week coming together as teams on the red and black team, getting to know one another. A lot of these teams, these players are rivals, but here they're going to take the field as teammates and play for what, for some of them, will be their last football game.
This should be a very, very entertaining game. There are dozens of storylines, and we will share them all with you amongst some pretty competitive football. That's next, the UP Football All-Star Game here on TV6.
Thank you. We would also like to make a special jersey presentation to the Shepherd family from St. Ignace, who tragically lost their son Tucker. Tucker was a multi-sport athlete at LaSalle High School and was selected to be an all-star in this game. And now please join Lexus Howard from Blackstone in the singing of our national anthem.
Back inside the Superior Dome here on a beautiful Saturday afternoon for what promises to be a ton of fun. Last year, Jerry, we were entertained to more of a defensive ball game, 14-7 the final in that one. They've added something this year, which is going to change the game. Motion is now allowed out of the offensive schemes for both of these teams. That changed everything.
Certainly, I do remember that defensive battle. It was a good game still, and just a different type of game. Hopefully, we'll see it opened up a little bit more, a little more offense, maybe stretch the field, that kind of thing.
For those of you that are unfamiliar with this, it's a bit confusing at first because when you think all-star games, you think north-south, east-west, and originally that was how this was broken down up until about 3 years ago when they decided to go amongst a draft. And so it's very interesting that you can have Nathan Beckman from Westwood on the red team, and on the other side of the ball, a couple of his Westwood teammates. And, oh, by the way, his former head coach. So I'm watching for Nathan Beckman in particular in this ball game to maybe have a little chip on his shoulder.
Yeah, it's weird how it all gets mixed up. But as you and I were talking before the game, a lot of these coaches, they talk amongst each other. And that's one of the great things about the UP is that on the football field, we compete and we're rivals, but we can still be friends off the field.
They certainly are, but I can guarantee you this. This is not going to be your traditional Pro Bowl type all-star game because Jerry touched on this a little while ago. For some of these guys, this is it. This is their last time wearing the pads ever. You want to go out a winner.
Yeah, this is definitely not a Pro Bowl game for sure.
So the red team has the ball on the tee, and they will be kicking off to the black. Again, it was broken down to red and black a number of years ago. As Sean Sandel of Menominee has it on the tee. And he will be kicking and ready to go. And it turned out to be a pretty decent crowd here this afternoon as well. This game has grown and grown as the years have gone by. This is a very, very good kick. Going to be, I got it, you take it at the 10-yard line here for the Black. And they move upfield and, well, they try and escape, but nothing there. And about the 14, make that the 13-yard line is where the red offense will take over, or the Black offense rather will take over. And we're going to see a quarterback by committee to start this off, which we usually do.
Yeah, it's nice to rotate them in, get everybody a chance. You know, once again, the theme of, for some, this will be the last time they lace them up.
Well, you were at the banquet last night, and there's some pretty impressive stats over the years as far as this game goes.
There are indeed. It's 12th year now. It's seen 1,041 players and more than 80 coaches come through. In addition to that, they also have a charitable side of this too. They've donated more than 11,500 pounds of food and $90,000 to local charities.
So the Black team will go out of the shotgun. There's that motion that we talked about, and they fake the handoff and just cut right up ahead. And a good gain here for the Black All-Stars. As with the football, Gavin Sundberg out of Ishpeming, and Gavin Sundberg's done that to a lot of teams over the course of the years.
That was a great run right up the middle. My coach used to tell me when I played football, I'll take 3 or 4 yards every play, and he got more than that. Well,
out of motion was Ethan Martish of Marquette, and if you know anything about him and the speed that he can outrun any DB. And if you take him out and spread him wide and get him open in the field in the passing game, he's very dangerous, and they allowed for that right there. They keep him in the backfield here with Sundberg, the former Ishpeming Hematite. And again, they go, and this time flag flies on the play, and Sundberg's going to move up for a first down, but I think, my friend, this one might be coming back. It looked like the Black team moved just a tad early.
I didn't get a good look. You say somebody jumped probably?
I think there may have been actually 2 players in motion at the same time.
Got it.
And that's the one thing about motion that not a whole lot of teams at the high school level actually utilize that. And so for some of these guys, this is brand new. So they'll discuss this. And it is the illegal procedure, 2 men in motion here. So it's a double-edged sword, something new, which can add to your offense, but can also add to the problems.
Yeah, if it's something you're not used to. I mean, they only had a week to practice, and between that, they also spent some time at Bay Cliff and a number of other things. So it was more than just football for this full week.
Yeah, this has been truly an amazing week. I've had the opportunity on radio this week to talk with Todd Goldbeck, who's the guy who's the founder of this thing from back in 2008, and it just gets better and better and better. And it's really an opportunity, as you learned at the banquet last night, to take guys who just graduated from high school, young kids, and transfer them into being young men.
And then here they are. They're going to put their talents on display one more time for this crowd here.
Yeah, we're going to get a good product here this afternoon, that is for sure. We're just underway here. It is the second play from scrimmage for the Black All-Stars. And with that second play from scrimmage comes our first penalty of the football game. So Ethan Martish in the backfield here with Gavin Sundberg from Ishpeming. Spread offense. They fake to Martish, and they go deep straight up the gut and caught at the 40-yard line. And an excellent grab from Luke Terrian, an outstanding year and career at Kingsford, and he carries that into the UP All-Star football game.
That was great concentration. He had 1, maybe 2 defenders on him, and was able to catch it, bring it in. Great concentration.
And a real nice throw. And Sundberg, watch this, he just drops it right in. A couple defenders converging on that, but Terrian with just a great look up here. 41-yard line for the Black team on first down as they approach midfield. And again, a wild spread offense. Don't see this traditionally in this All-Star game, but that also has been kind of the evolution of this as they send Martish in motion. This time they fake to him, and Sundberg got away from the first defender, and now a whole wall of red is going to swarm him under about the 2-yard line. But I will say this for the red defense, they're biting on that fake to Martish, which is a smart move, because if they give it to him one of these times, he could take it the distance.
Yeah, he's a player you have to account for. You can't ignore him.
So just underway here, and again, after the penalty, the Black All-Stars have moved it out near to midfield, 43-yard line of their own. A couple of receivers left and right, and again, you're going to go shotgun with Sundberg out of Ishpeming running things here in this opening quarter. Martish again in motion. This time they fake it to him. And Sundberg looks upfield. He's met right there at the point of impact. Big, big hit. They didn't catch the number of that truck that hit him. Is that a 36?
I think it was 36.
So welcome to the UP All-Star game. That's Travis Ogelo. Had a great career under John Crows at Calumet. And you see Sundberg with the move. And yep, right there you see that silver helmet of the Copper Kings.
Sometimes you want to get those big hits out of the way, get some of the nerves out.
Ojala did that a lot. Had a chance to call the game with the Copper Kings in Nagani for radio this year, and yeah, he's a disruptive force defensively. So 3rd and 6 now for the black-shirted All-Stars. Spread offense again. Sundberg with a delayed snap, and he kept the football, didn't give it to Martish, and the red is held now after a gain of only 1. This brings up 4th and 5.
It's hard to tell. I'm not sure that fake went exactly the way they wanted it.
It was a slow developing play. You know, the snap was slow coming back here. Martish didn't quite get there at time, and timing is going to be the issue. You know, like you said, yeah. Well, that, and again, like you mentioned here, Jerry, they've only been together for a week, and a lot of these kids are used to playing against each other.
Indeed. Yeah, it'll be kind of a. But maybe sometimes these first quarters kind of a feeling out process and getting everybody to gel.
Well, you got to love a 4th and 5 here on the first drive because they line up to go for it here at midfield. And it'll be Sundberg again running the offense. He barks out the signals, and he'll take the snap back. Looks for Martish out of the backfield, and he is held on to beautifully in a great shoestring tackle from Hunter Smith, another Ishpeming Hematite, which is the cool thing about this ball game. Who knows better where that quarterback's going to go than his own teammate for 3-4 years at the high school level.
Exactly. I'm sure he's seen that same move a number of times.
And the other thing, too, when you get the best of the best, you're going to see great fundamental football, and Hunter Smith couldn't have played that any better.
Yeah, it was a great tackle.
So the red All-Stars will now take over.
Good field position, too.
Doesn't get much better than this, as Craig Kameen from Escanaba will run the offense. He will stay in under center in a traditional I formation. And he will call things out and give to the second man of the pile. And that's Robin Spink of Superior Central and the former Cougar with not very, very much room at all on that left side.
Tried to get fancy with spins and stuff, but the hole just wasn't there.
Fink is one of these kids, too. You do not want him in open space. There's a lot of really solid ability on both of these teams, hence the all-star approach. But for some of these guys, it's even higher than that. And Fink coming off the 8-player program at Superior Central. And that's the other interesting marriage here is you've got the traditional 11 and a good handful on each side of 8-player.
Yeah, it's interesting to see how it'll come together.
Kameen rolling, looking. He's got his man. That is Peyton Anderson out of Nagani to the 20-yard line. And Peyton did that to a lot of teams in the West Pack this last year. And Peyton Anderson gets the first down. Do we have a flag down? Yes, we do, right there at the 35. That might be an illegal block upfield. As you see the slap of the helmet from Paul Jacobson,
Watch this
Peyton
throw.
Anderson's high school coach. So Kameen on the roll.
Watch this throw, so good, going across his body like that. Excellent throw.
That's actually a block in the back on the defensive team.
You don't see that a lot.
You do not see that often at all. As you see Anderson and getting popped there. But it is a first down for the red team as they take advantage of great field position. The black All-Stars had gone for it on 4th down near midfield and stuffed them. So Kameen again under center. Peyton Anderson is the fullback position. Finks out of Superior Central at the tail. And a fumble on the field and diving for it. I believe the red covered it. Yeah, the red jumped on top. I think Fink actually got on top of that.
Still working out some of the miscues.
Kinks here. Well, and you know these kids are amped up too.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, they're not necessarily nerves, you know, but they're just ready to go. As you get another look at that play from before and the pitch to Anderson.
Nice shaking the tackles there.
So it is 2nd and 13 after the fumble, and the handoff goes left side. Working now is Beckman out of Westwood, and Nathan Beckman again playing against his former coaching staff. It's a primarily Westwood coaching staff for the black shirts. Scott Sergila leading the charge. Brad Wilginen, Chad Hewitt, Jake Wolf, and Scott Mann. They're joined by Jeff Olson, who just retired as the head coach from Ishpeming, George Nemi, who's his replacement for the Hematites, and Kyle Rudman, who is also on the coaching staff for Ishpeming. So it's all West End of Marquette County coaching the black team right now, and they've got to get their defense tied down. It's 3rd down and 6 from the 13-yard line. And we were watching special teams. Both of these teams have brought in some pretty good kickers. Kameen, inside, give, Anderson, not much there.
You mentioned the coaching staff for the black team. Now the red team, an interesting thing, Cody Kangas.
Yes.
He was the first, he's the first head coach to have actually played in this All-Star game, of course, being this is year 12.
12, yeah. He was on the 2008, I want to say the South squad. I think it was North-South those first years. And, yeah, so there's the evolution. There's another sign how much older I'm getting, too, because I was with that. Actually, Luds, too, you're getting old as well because he was with me on that telecast. So back-to-back drives are going to go fourth down. This is the first time we've seen the red offense spread things out. Kameen's going to go shotgun here from the 12-yard line. They need the 8. Kameen lost the handle on it and is able to get it back, but he's being chased down. He's going to gun it here. Near sideline diving and not able to come up with it was Tucker Taylor.
You got to give him an A for an effort. Broken play right off the start with a high snap, and they tried to salvage it, but just nothing doing.
Well, the unfortunate side of that, even if Tucker Taylor from Gwynn is able to make a miraculous catch, he's still way shy of the first down.
Yep.
And again, just a high snap. And Kameen, you see the athleticism.
Again, another tough throw. Almost there.
Yep. And Tucker Taylor diving for it would not have gotten the first down. So both teams, no harm, no foul. We're about 7 minutes in. And again, that's the other change here from the traditional high school, Jerry, is this is 15-minute quarters.
Right,
instead of the 12. So Sundberg back at it here for the Black All-Stars. And he guns it across the middle, got his man, sliding catch from Luke Terry in his second grab of the ball game. And the former flivver from Kingsford has himself an 8-yard gain.
Well, and you know, too, we don't have the cool, crisp autumn or bone-chilling winter to deal with. It's the middle of summer, too, so these kids are going to be working up a sweat for sure.
We're already working one up here. They say heat rises here in the Dome. They're not kidding. This is nothing like a game I did back in 2010. Nagani Roscommon in here. It had to be 100 up here on the press desk.
My goodness.
So it's a comfortable afternoon. And Sundberg back now looking, jukes and shakes. He's got himself the first down. But he certainly paid the price as, again, the red defense here, Jerry, I think has kind of picked up a tell because his fakes were working at first, and now that little dig to Martish out of Marquette isn't working quite as well.
Yeah, that's the name of the game in football, too. Adapt. You know, when you see something, you got to key in on it and adjust for it.
Pair of receivers either side. Now, Martish is split well out to the right. Terrian's the inside receiver there on the left side of your screen. And a long count here for the black shirt All-Stars. And now they send a man in motion here to the near side and stack the deck left. Long count. Sundberg looking, waiting. Protection's breaking down, and he goes down. Flung it forward. I don't know if they're going to say he was down or if they're going to call that an incomplete pass. I didn't see a receiver in the area, but they're going to give him the benefit of the doubt. Stops the clock here with 6:40 to go in the opening quarter, but brings up another long situation on second down. You know, and it's interesting with all the addition of the motion and everything and the spread and the offense, we're seeing defense once again.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, I didn't know how much they take advantage of the motion. They really are. They're using it a lot.
Well, they just showed that to us and still didn't see a receiver in the area, but they are going to maintain the incomplete pass call on the field. As you get a look at the red coaching staff, that's Paul Jacobson from Nagani right there at the front of your screen. And he knows Gavin Sundberg very, very well. And Sundberg again with the fake to Martish that was snipped out beautifully. And is that Fink in there defensively as well? Sure enough. And we have our first timeout. And with that, we will join them. Timeout here on the field. We're scoreless here at the Dome in Marquette. Good-looking crowd here in Marquette at the Superior Dome alongside Jerry Tudor. Mark Evans, our TD6 crew on 3rd and long. 3rd and officially 9 here for the black-shirted All-Stars. They send a man in motion. That's Tyrion out of Kingsford. And he'll just dance there in the slot. And here is Sundberg once again with pressure on him. He guns it looking for Martish, and he overshot everybody. The former Marquette Redman turned in. The pass actually went out. You can't blame Sundberg for that because he was wearing – actually, he's on the black team, but he looked like he was wearing a red jersey by the time he got up.
Yeah, that had me fooled for a second, too. I have to admit it. They're looking to hear punt here on 4th, but it's time for the black team now to adjust.
Yep.
I'm thinking the fake to Martish, it's not going to be there right now.
Well, that was Ojala that was breaking in out of Calumet. And Travis Ojala, another one that, Calumet had that great season last year, wound up losing to St. Francis, second round of the Division 6 playoffs. But they had an absolute battle with Westwood in that opener, and really one of the games of the year here in the Upper Peninsula. And the funny thing is, now you got guys from both that Calumet team and Westwood playing with each other.
It is good to see.
It really is cool. And it's really added an element to this game, because I was talking to Todd Goldbeck, and he's absolutely right. When they first put this game on, it was either east, west, north, south. They did both. But there were years where, say, Gladstone, Escanaba, and Menominee were all having great seasons. So the South team would come into that All-Star game absolutely stacked. They faked the reverse on the punt coverage, and quickly up ahead is Nathan Beckman out of Westwood, and he cuts back in. It's is that 16 instead of 10? Yeah, that was 16. That's Brett Locust out of Calumet. Apologies there, but again, same with those Copper Kings and that great run that they had. But when they came to doing the draft, it added a whole different element to this game, because you could scout other teams when you knew who your coaching counterpart was going to be. So let's say that Mike Baruti from West Iron County, like last year, he's the head coach. All right, so he's going to start drafting guys that, might be able to clue him in on a couple of things about the coaching staff that he's up against. Believe me, this is a very competitive week.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
I mean, these are players and coaches that they're intense. This is not going to be, like I said, the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, we mentioned that they exchange information and everything, but both teams are here to win. Like there was a lot of bragging going on last night during the banquet.
Oh, yeah. So Craig Kameen out of Escanaba will start things off in the offense here. Once again, spread for the red team. Second drive, they've had great field position. And he's going to send a man in motion. That is Beckman. They're going to give to him. Nathan looks to cut up field, and he'll dive forward for a gain of about 4 yards. Keeping it fairly simple so far, both these teams, which again is to be expected here, but they've each got something in their back pocket.
Oh, definitely. It'll be a little while before they break it out. We use the first quarter to feel each other out and get kind of comfortable, get in a rhythm. Of course, football, a game based in rhythm. It's good to get that going.
So again, the Red will spread out the offense. That's Tucker Taylor out of Gwynn, way to the top of your screen. And offsides on the offense will back up the Red All-Stars. Now, this is interesting, because I was thinking back and went through my notes from last year. Not a lot of penalties last year. We've already surpassed last year's penalty total.
Yeah, I do recall that. It was last year was just good, solid D all the way around. Not a lot of mistakes.
Well, so far we're seeing pretty good defense and a couple of miscues, a couple of mistakes on offense, but that's to be expected here. As again, they'll keep the same formation, twin receivers either side, and now that Beckman running the offense. Sure enough, snap is high. Nathan Beckman looks. He's got Tucker Taylor far side. He got bumped, and they will say incidental, and no flag will fly, bringing up third down and long.
Despite that, he almost caught that.
He did.
That was very close.
Tucker Taylor is one of those guys, you look at him and you see football player.
Oh, yeah.
He's just got that swagger and that look to him.
And a lot of these kids are multi-sport athletes, too.
Well, yeah, I know you watched Tucker Taylor on the basketball court.
Absolutely. Shooting
highlights, and yeah, you're right. He got tripped up and just about landed in his breadbasket anyway.
Yeah, it's unique for me being up here in the booth. I'm usually on the sidelines or on the side of the court side shooting
I'll say the last time Jerry and I worked together was the 8-player state championship games for Fox Sports Detroit.
Indeed.
And Jerry had the fun part of carrying that camera around. Here's Beckman looking, waiting, and here comes the black defense, and he'll get swarmed under the 44-yard line and lose a couple. And he was brought down by someone he knows very well, and Braden Velmer out of Nagani.
Solid stand here for the black team.
Another look at this.
Good penetration, chasing them around already. 77.
No, 77.
I don't have that name.
I don't have a 77 either.
Well, he made a great play.
Yep. So Ethan Martish is back in punt coverage for the black team. He's the only one back, as we're in a position in the field where this is where our first changing things up, tricking things out could be. But it looks like the red team is pretty much in punt protection right now. Pass back is a good one, and ball is launched straight up. Martish will look, and he will make the fair. No, he bobbled it, and now he's got to pick it up, and he's in the end zone to do so. And they're going to say touchback. Okay, it will be a touchback. The red team wanting a a safety on that, but they're going to talk this over. If he didn't touch it, it is a touchback, and they have judged that he did not touch the ball. So that'll put the football, they dodge a bullet, does the black team right there.
Yeah, here's a closer look at it. A great kick, very deep. Let's see if he...
That hit the red. It hit the red player.
Oh, it did.
Yeah, it hit the shoulder of Travis Ojala from Calumet. So with 4:06 to go, this is the third opportunity now for the black-shirted All-Stars. And they've changed things up. That's Tyrion now playing quarterback. So they'll switch things up. You're going to see a lot of personnel changes, especially in the skill positions, as Tyrion, again, that red defense, Jerry, they're not offering anything there in the middle.
Yeah, they're not biting on the fakes.
Ojala in there once again. You take a look at that red defense, and they have really been stuffing things down the middle.
Solid up the middle. Yep, that's exactly what I was going to say.
Small gain. They're going to officially keep it at 2nd down and 10 as the clock continues to spin here in our first quarter. Superior Dome in Marquette, there's been a tradition since 2008. And it's one that just gets better and better every year. As Jerry mentioned, over 1,000 players in those previous years, including this group. It's over 1,000 players that have taken part in this game. That's staggering. Tyrion fakes to Sundberg, and now Tyrion's got an opening and up the right sideline. He won't get caught until the 44-yard line, and once again, it's Ojala from Calumet that was there to bring him down, but not before Luke Tyrion has that big gain for the Black Shirts.
Well, just after we got done praising the red team for having the middle under control, that ran right through there.
This is equaling close to the best field position the Black Shirt All-Stars have had.
Good blocking.
Well, they faked it this time to Sundberg, which is a different type of runner than Mardish of Marquette. They're both quick, they're both strong, but they're different style runners. And the fakes first to Mardish were working really good, but now Ethan Mardish is split well out to the bottom of your screen. Had himself a tremendous career under Michael Hillier for the Marquette Redmen. And now man in motion to the middle of the formation. Tyrion's just going to keep it straightforward, a la Jeff Olson and the Ishpeming Hematites offense.
Yeah, he was the guest speaker last night during the banquet. Kind of bittersweet for him, too, as he announced his retirement on March 4th of this year.
Well, we were kind of joking during the course of the week. How interesting is that sideline for the black team going to be when you got Jeff Olson, an assistant coach to Scott Sergila, who was an assistant to Jeff Olson at Ishpeming before taking the Westwood job. And what's that sideline going to be like?
Oh, yeah. And there was some banter back and forth between Olson and Sergila.
Oh, yeah. And there should be. And like we talked about, this is going to be a pretty heated game because you got coaches out there that want to win. You got players out there that want to win. But at the end of this one, we're going to see a very genuine handshake.
Absolutely.
Regardless of what happens, which is always so fun to see. 2nd down and 8, as you see, as Luke Tyrion from Kingsford taking over the offense. Sends a man in motion right in front. The snap actually went behind the motion man. Tyrion's pass is deflected straight up, and it hits the turf, brings up 3rd down.
You know, you mentioned in the 12 years, more than 1,000 players coming through. That started because many of the coaches and players and people up here felt that the UP wasn't being properly represented with the All-Star game downstate.
Yeah, it's a very interesting story. Is getting a hand on that was Jonah Miller out of Engadine. Yeah, there is a downstate All-Star game that hardly ever had representation from the UP. As a matter of fact, you can only coach in that game once in your career. Oh. And guess who finally had a chance to coach in it this last year?
It must be Coach
Jeff
Olson.
Olson.
Yeah.
With the run that he had at Ishpeming. And another fumble. This one's going to be scooped up by the red team. And this is just simply a foot race. Touchdown on the defensive side. As that's Mitchell LeGrave out of Norway. Scoops it and runs it in, and the former Knight puts the red on the board, and a defensive touchdown after a black miscue at about the 35-yard line.
Here's another look at that. You got to love when your defense chips in with the scoring. The ball pops loose, great awareness to pick it up and run right to the end zone, man. Excellent play.
And Tyrion just about got to him, but again, just a great run from Mitchell LeGrave. as Sean Sandal of Menominee sets the tee down at the 10-yard line. Craig Kameen out of Escanaba will be the holder. I bet you never thought these two guys would be on, on the same page, Menominee and Escanaba.
That's what's great about this game, though. It brings these teams together.
One of the great rivalries in the great Northern Conference. And the Escanaba quarterback holding for the Menominee kicker, who blasts a low one through, and it's 7-0. We owe you a break. The kick is next here on TV6. Ethan Martish back deep, and I misspoke a moment ago. He played for Dave LaHillier at Marquette Senior High School. Of course, Mike LaHillier, longtime hockey coach at Marquette, so you can, forgive the LaHillier confusion.
Oh, that's an easy mistake to make.
Well, both very good, and that's the other reason that added to the confusion here. But Ethan Martish back deep, and he's one of these guys, as teams in the Great Northern Conference learned throughout the years, can be an instant game changer. And they will kick it to him. Martish at the 9. Ethan Martish looking straight up the gut. He has a bit of an opening, popped off the pile. This is what we were talking about. He gets the corner. Ethan Martish, can he return the favor for the black team? He will. He goes 92 yards. And Ethan Martish is an extra point away from a tie ball game.
What a spectacular play. Just as you called it, he's got wheels, and he put them on display there.
And that brings the fans of the Black All-Stars to their feet across the way. Just watch this.
Cuts on the Jets, and there's no stopping him. Excellent.
Jonah Miller from Engadine had the first crack at him. That's Matt Ojala from Calumet, couldn't catch up. And Ethan Martish spent a lot of years doing that at William Hart Stadium in Marquette.
So we've got a defensive touchdown and a special teams touchdown now.
So we owe you the extra point, and that's perfect timing because we also are close to owing you one last break. 1:25 as you see remaining here in the quarter. And Willie Schmidt from Bark River Harris has the ball lined up. Bryce Brazo from Marquette will be the holder. Pass back is a good one, and he blasted to the uprights, and through it goes. 7-7, just like that. A defensive touchdown, as you mentioned, now a special teams touchdown.
Well, it's time for the offenses to get it together. But again, it's all about adapting and finding what's going to work.
Well, here's the thing. I'm cool if we keep going with defensive and special teams touchdowns. I think that's awesome.
I was a defensive player too, so I'm okay with it. It's nice.
So you take another look at this one here, Jerry. Just set this up for folks. Pretty simple.
Well, nice clean catch. Find the blocks in place. Run behind your men. There was one. He bounced off right there. And then he found the edge, and that is all it takes.
And you got the feeling when he busted that one tackle that was going to be about all she wrote.
I think he probably kind of knew. You could feel it.
Martish had a great track career, great football career. You got to wonder if you put him on skates how fast he would have been too.
Yeah, a lot of these kids, again, multi-sport athletes and quite studious as well. All the coaches last night during the banquet had nothing but great things to say about how respectful, intelligent, and hardworking all these kids are.
From what I've been told, this is a rather quiet group. Not a lot of, noise in the dorms. They kind of kept it rather low key.
I heard there was a lot of video games.
Yes, well, sadly, that's kind of true in society in general right now. As that Schmidt, Bark River Harris with the ball on the tee. It is Fink, and I believe that's Sandville from Gladstone. No. The ball is actually going to be punched to the sideline. They're going to let this one roll out of bounds. And they'll take the field position, I'm guessing here, as they didn't want to kick that one to Robin Spink because that kid from Superior Central can do to the black team what Ethan Martish just did to the red team.
Exactly. Another game breaker. If he gets the ball in some space, that can be the end.
Actually, it was Trevor Povolo, I believe, that was back in coverage with him from Kingsford. As both teams set for the final 1:25 of this first quarter. Again, 15-minute quarters. That does change things a little bit. So with the kick out of bounds, that'll put the football 35-yard line. And right from the sideline, right to the offense, goes the red team. And a little shift there from Jaron Masuga from Cedarville. He'll take the right guard position. Kameen again at quarterback, and now we got a whistle and I believe a timeout, and sure enough, the red team, something they didn't like here. And they want to take a moment and talk this over, so that'll leave them both with 2 timeouts here for the second part of the first half. So, again, just a great week, a great event, skills competition, which is always a ton of fun, too.
Yeah, and at TV6, we've had a blast covering these events all week and all the different facets they take on, from them donating money to the local food pantries to their time out at Bay Cliff Camp, which is always very special for the athletes. It's wonderful to see. Sometimes you hear of kids these days. Well, these kids are proof that there's plenty of good kids out there.
The trip to Bay Cliff, you talk to anybody who's associated with this game, and they will tell you that is an instant game changer.
Actually, last night during the banquet, they mentioned that there were kids a couple of years ago who were on the All-Star team. They went out to Bay Cliff, and when they came back this year, they were counselors at Bay Cliff.
Absolutely. Yep, and it's a great way to meet guys and really spend some quality time and a good quality week with your peers. There's another high snap for Kameen. He's not going to get to it, and the black team recovers at about the 21-yard line. So Craig Kameen has had his issues from center, and I know he's got some good hops, but no one's getting that one.
Yeah, that was pretty tall. That was what I did back in my day, and you got to keep
snapped it over your quarterback's head.
Well,
did you?
Well, not ideally. I was a snapper though, and you want to keep that much lower.
So Christian Creighton from Gladstone with the recovery for the black team, wearing number 2, and that'll put the red team back on defense. They haven't been on defense in a while because, well, black scored on that 92-yard touchdown from Martish just a little bit ago.
Yeah, now's the time for the red team, for Kameen and his center to do some practice reps on the side.
And that also stops the clock. Spread offense here for the black-shirted offense. And again, Luke Terrian taking over at quarterback, joined in the backfield by Tate K of the Sioux. And a long count from center. And Terrian this time looking. Crossing pattern for Sundberg, who makes a great catch. And he gets hit right away as catching up was Povolo from Kingsford on the defensive side of things. It'll be a first down for the Black All-Stars.
Excellent play, little pitch and catch right across the middle.
And like you said, Jerry, here what we're doing now is opening things up in the playbook just a little bit.
Yeah, you use the early parts of the first quarter to run and test out your game, and now we've done that. We've opened up some scoring on each side, and now we can play a little more open.
Approaching a minute to go, as you see here. And it'll be Sundberg split out with Martish to the right-hand side. A couple of receivers left here for the black-shirted All-Stars. And Terrian again with K in the backfield. Looking, waiting, crossing, almost intercepted as Sundberg got tied up a little bit. And that was right at the shoe tops of the defender for the red shirts. That's Christopher Karn out of Escanaba, who just about pulled one off the turf.
Good pressure back there by the red D.
Stops the clock, and a long conversation now with both Sundberg and Terrian. And Luke Terrian out of Kingsford will keep the offense. He's got the very dangerous Gavin Sundberg with him. And he'll be Sundberg and Martish again out to the right-hand side. Scheiding inside of Willie Schmidt. Scheiding out of Munising. And they gun it to the end zone. Martish, and they overshot him. Ethan Martish was all alone for the potential second score of his All-Star career, and they overshot him in the corner of the end zone.
Yep, that pass is a little lower. That could have been money.
I don't know if we're going to get another look at that one or not. I'm trying to see where the defender actually wound up going, but Martish with a little juke move there. And he just lost his defender, playing on out. Covered by Hunter Smith right off the line, but Martish just did what he does and went right around him.
Yeah, the defender there was focused more watching the backfield, watching the quarterback. He did let his guy get behind him.
Well, this last minute or so taking us quite a while. Same set, same receivers split out. Tate K in the backfield with the quarterback Luke Terrian. As a hush falls over the dome, and they tried once again, and this is over the top of everybody. Contact, but obviously no call on this. Now, do you kick the field goal, or do you go for it and try and pin him if you don't get here?
You don't see a lot of field goals, and I'd like to see one. Not in UP football. I think it'd be fun to try. It's a decent kick from there.
Well, they line the football up at the 10, so it'd be a 27-yard field goal. as you're going to watch. There is contact here, but it's more the receiver going over the top.
Yeah, he was making an attempt.
So they'll keep the offense on the field, will the Black All-Stars, and they've been stopped a couple of times. They were stopped on downs by the red team, and then a scoop and score by Mitch LeGrave of Norway. That was the red touchdown, and then in the ensuing kickoff, Mardish went 92 yards for the black team.
That he did.
And he did it in a real hurry. So 4th and 10. And Sundberg's back in at quarterback. And he guns us to the corner of the end zone. Great coverage, and Mardish had nowhere to go, and the red defense will take over. And covering the play, Hunter Smith couldn't have played that any better out of Ishpeming.
Yeah, he was all over him. And now for the black team, it's not so bad. They don't have great field position that they turn over to the red team now. So
27 seconds remains, but again, just showing you that these teams aren't afraid to air it out. And it's funny, too, because motion has been introduced this year. We've not seen a ton of it yet. Some from the black team early.
Yeah.
But a lot of set plays with spread offenses for both teams. As you get a look at some people enjoying a great summer day of high school football.
That's right. Now, last year you remarked, is this the end of football or the beginning?
I say it's the end of the football. This is the true end of the high school sports season, as they give Beckman on the halfback option and a lot of contact downfield. Nothing called, and that's the best way to do it, is they tried to find Vince Hughes out of Gladstone, and it couldn't have been covered any better.
All over him.
That's Tyler Beauchamp out of Kingsford there defensively, and it looked like the black team had a pretty good clue that was coming. But that is the beauty of players like Beckman, like Sundberg, like Tyrion, like Kameen. They can play other positions in your offense, which opens up the playbook for a halfback option like that.
It's a great play if you can get it to work, and a nice attempt. The throw is, again, a tough one going across your body like that.
And a real smart move there by Beckman, too, to just he saw the coverage and pretty much threw that more or less away. Kameen, they've struggled with that snap. This one's clean, but he's got pressure coming. And out of the backfield, a quick toss to Brody Sandville out of Gladstone, but that really goes, in essence, nowhere. And with 12 seconds to go, we stop the clock and 3rd down and 10. Scheiding on the stop there, the former Munising Mustang. And so the red team having their struggles here on offense the last couple of drives. Kameen has the play from the sideline. 12 to go here on 3rd down and 10 from 13-yard line. He's got twins to the left. He'll send twins to the right. That's Tucker Taylor in the slot right side here for the red shirts, and he's a great target in a situation like this. The former Gwynn Model Towner. Kameen back, gunning it. A lot of coverage, and again, a lot of hand checking. They just let that one fall, and I'll be shocked if the red team goes for it from here.
Yeah, you're pinned pretty deep. That play, that was a nice pass, just a little bit too far for his wideout.
Well, but again, you got great coverage downfield, and the great thing about it is at this level with All-Stars, you've got some of the best corners out there too. You got great receivers, but they're up against probably the best defenders they've seen in their career.
And that's why these games tend to be fairly close.
Last 3 or 4 have been just battles. They've been a lot of fun. I think back to 2016, I think it was Ozzie Korp out of Ishpeming with a couple of late touchdowns to bring his team back from what looked like the brink of death. So back in punt coverage, Mason Scheiding from Munising. Kick this one away is Parker Wilson, one of the Gogibic range miners. And this one is up high in the air. Can be tough to see. It is Scheiding straight ahead. He escapes one, not the other, and that'll do it here for the first quarter. We'll flip sides. We stay 7-7. UP Football All-Star Game will continue in a moment here on TV6. Now we're back live on a Saturday afternoon on UpperMichiganSource.com. Of course, tape delay here for you joining us on Sunday here on TV6. So far, so fun, Jerry. 7-7. Not what we expected.
No, it's been a great game, though. We've seen a defensive touchdown on the fumble recovery, and then we've seen a special teams touchdown as Mardish broke off a 92-yard run.
92 yards. As you get a look at a very, very good house for this All-Star game.
decent crowd, especially when it's so nice out. And
yeah, that's the tricky part in June, because we haven't had a lot of weekends like this up until this point.
Right, yeah, and when you get these nice, beautiful days, there's a lot of options, of course, in the beautiful Queen City of Marquette.
And pretty much all over. Now, we mentioned the punter for the red team, Parker Wilson out of Gogebic. For those of you unfamiliar with the Gogebic range minors, it's co-op between Wakefield Marinesco, Bessemer, and now Ironwood are all in that, and one of the bigger districts enrollment-wise in the West Pack. So it's kind of an interesting, they played their games last year at Bessemer, and from what I understand, they're going to flip between Bessemer and Ironwood for a couple of years until they kind of decide on a home, as Terrian gets tripped up the line of scrimmage. And he's not going to get much of anything. Jonah Miller out of Engadine having himself a great game defensively. He had that deflection on the pass early. Now he knocks the quarterback down for no gain.
No surprise there. We're going to see these athletes standing out and shining and doing what they do. You know, it's interesting you mentioned those unique kind of setups in football. I grew up downstate. You see them a number of places down there, too. There's a team called Unionville Sebewing,
yep,
where you've got these towns that ends up having to be merged and compete. Otherwise, they're not going to have enough kids to field a team.
Well, we're seeing more and more of that in high school. We're also seeing more and more 8-player programs here in the Upper Peninsula and in northern Lower Michigan, and even in the southern part of Lower Michigan. More and more of that is becoming the rule, as they give to Martish, and, well, he's not going to run 92 yards that time. He's going for a gain of about 2 or 3 here on the play for the former Marquette Redmen. But, you know, we see, you know, Wakefield Marinesco was a co-op for a while, and then they had to co-op again. You know, with declining enrollments, you see like Baraga actually folding their program to co-op with Ontonagon, I believe is who they're in there with.
Yep.
You know, you see a lot of schools that traditionally don't have football, like Chassell, teams like that. You know, they have co-opted in with other teams. I think Chassel's in actually with Hancock and that program up there. You see Bark River Harris, you know, those two pros. So there's a lot of that going on. But one thing that they're trying to do is get as many opportunities for the kids to play. As we take a look at our first touchdown of the ball game, just a simple scoop and score, as Mitchell LeGray from Norway takes it in from about 35 yards away. The Red had the lead, Jerry, for about 12 seconds.
Yeah, it wasn't long after that before Martish did this right here. Took this kick, ran behind his guys, broke off of one tackle there, found the outside, and that's it. And he turned on the Jets, bring it to the house to even things up at 7 apiece.
And the thing about Martish is he had not been 100% for part of the football season, and that really hurt the Redmen's chances. And funny thing is, even through all of that for Marquette, they had a chance at the playoffs, wound up losing their last game of the season. Had they won that ball game, would have possibly been in, as we harken back to 2018 and the season there. So after the timeout, a 3rd down and 7 officially here for the black team. Terrian again with Kay in the backfield with him, and Martish goes in motion. They fake to him, and all sorts of trouble now for Terrian, and he gets this one away looking for Sundberg, and he was covered perfectly downfield by Trevor Povolo from Kingsford, and that brings up 4th down. But again, this is a 4-down territory, I'm guessing, with the ball at the 40-yard line.
Yeah, I would do that same thing. And that was on that last play there, great coverage and a difficult throw. He had a defender right in his face too.
Yeah, we're not seeing either side allowing the quarterbacks to get set. You know, there's been way too many opportunities for both quarterbacks, actually all 4 quarterbacks that we've seen, with Beckman stepping in occasionally with Kameen on the red side of things. So they'll spread the offense and go shotgun again on 4th down, and a whistle and a timeout called by the red team, and that'll be their second here of the first half. So they will head to the sidelines here. You know, we talked about the skills competition. The quarterback longest throw was 57 yards.
That's nice. That's a cannon.
And that is not the record.
Oh, what is the record?
59 yards.
Oh.
The field goal this year was an even 50.
Wow.
The record is 55.
My goodness.
So had some great performances as we take a look into the huddle of the Red All-Stars. And one of the fun things, and you see this a lot of like the blue-gray game in college, is all the helmet decals.
Yeah, I love those. I love those.
It can be a bit confusing for us as you look at our MHSAA officiating crew here. But I'm grateful for one thing. There was a year trying to call this game where the red team had black numbers with no white trim around it. That was tough enough. The black team had red numbers.
Oh, yeah.
Don't get me wrong, they looked really cool up close.
I'm sure, but up here in the booth.
Trying to call it from here, it's like you get the Hubble Space Telescope out, still can't see what's going on.
Well, now they both got the white, so that works.
And again, and that's something that, these kids, these coaches are really treated to an all-star week with the swag that they get. They have their cleats covered. They've got the jersey they get to keep. The coaches get their gear they get to keep. As this is also going to be broken up. Stepping in front for the red team, that's Travis Ojala from Calumet once again. He's having himself a great all-star game.
Yes, he is.
And we're not even 2 minutes into the second quarter.
Yeah, Todd Goldbeck and all the work that he does with this game. He was praised many, many times during the banquet.
It is really phenomenal because these kids are treated as all-stars. They really, truly are. And in return, once again, we're getting treated to a really, really good game.
Absolutely. He said none of this would be possible without his wife, of course, saying yes, and then also two coaches, Jeff Olson and Santilli from
Forest Park. Absolutely. So the red takes over on downs as Beckman hands it off to the right side. This is also on the turf, and the Blacks team picks it up. And a scoop for Ashton Bergman, get this, of Westwood. So Westwood's quarterback fumbles the ball. Westwood's defender picks it up on the other team and returns it and almost scored down to the 12-13-yard line.
I'm sure he will mention that to his former teammate. Another look at it here.
Oh, it wasn't Beckman that fumbled. It was Fink that fumbled. But either way, a scoop there for Bergman, who in that backfield with Nathan Beckman at Westwood for a couple of years was dangerous. There's a lot of teams in the West Pack and the former Mid-Penn that are really glad to see these two guys retiring after 12 or 13 years.
Definitely.
That's how it seemed for a lot of teams in that conference. So another turnover, and this is going to put the Black offense in business at the 13-yard line. And Sundberg's going to take back the quarterback position with twins either side here in the spread offense. No motion out of this just yet. They fake. Sundberg, guns. Terrian's got it. Touchdown Black after the turnover. 13 yards out.
And Black jumps ahead. You got to capitalize on those turnovers. That's a great, and they did it on the first play afterwards. Another look here. Drops back. Excellent pass, right on the money.
What was the big difference there? Protection.
Yeah, he had time to get set and launch it. Yeah, you mentioned that earlier, not a lot of quarterbacks having the time to set up and throw, and he had it there, and it paid off.
So Beckman will be the holder. Pass back is a good one, and they just let it ride, and he got it through. And so once again, you see a 14-7 lead after the red team had jumped out to that 7-0 lead on the scoop and scores. We get another look at it right into your house. He had time, but it was also a quick play.
Yeah. Yep. They've had some plays early on in the first quarter that were a little slow in developing, and that gave the defense, of course, time to react and shut it down. Those bang-bang plays, once they come out like that on the back, it's going to end in success more often than not. Look at the crew there.
Yep. So again, like any other football game at any other level, you got to take advantage of the situations that are in front of you. So they recover the fumble, and one play later, they're in from 13 yards out. Got a little bit of everything for this All-Star game, don't we? I believe those girls are from Gladstone.
Oh, good.
But I'm not 100% sure. They announced the anthem singer as being from Gladstone, and she was one of the crew there. So I'm guessing that's the case here. Willie Schmidt's got it on the tee from Bark River Harris. And dropping back in kick coverage, Robin Spink from Superior Central. And this is just a pooch that's going to bounce high in the air That's Peyton Anderson from Negaunee getting upended at the 35-yard line. Nice job to hold on to the football. Peyton, a good career for Paul Jacobson as a fullback. As a matter of fact, they utilized him on one of the first plays from scrimmage, swinging him out of the backfield.
You mentioned good job holding on to the football. That can be very difficult when you get upended like that.
Yes.
When your feet go out from underneath you.
Well, because the tendency is to want to put one hand down.
Correct.
To help and break the fall.
Yep.
And back in the day before they upgraded this facility here, and the original AstroTurf that was in here was like playing on concrete.
Yeah.
This is the field turf, which is a little softer.
Yeah, I've not heard too many good things about AstroTurf.
No. No. Anything you can peel off like they used to. And you look underneath it, and it's over concrete.
Oh.
Like most stadiums were back in the 70s and the late 60s when they brought that in. This field turf these kids are playing on right now is about as good as it gets here at NMU. Man in motion, Beckman, they fake to him. Now they swing to Taylor here. He got a block. Tucker Taylor lowers the shoulder. And Tucker Taylor did that at Gwynn for many, many, many games. That is not a young man you want to see coming at you full steam.
No, and what a solid end to the run too, hey? Little pitch and catch here. Good grab.
Great block.
Turns it upfield. Yeah, that block was critical. And then boom, lowers the shoulder like you said. It's a statement run. After the catch.
Gillis on the tackle out of Gladstone. And that'll put the Red All-Stars out to their own 43-yard line. Kameen back in at quarterback, the former Escanaba Eskimo. Spread offense here now, man in motion across the formation. They fake there. Kameen cuts straight ahead. He gets ripped down after a gain of about a foot. That's about it. And in from the black team is Brendan Kreiderman out of Sault Ste. Marie. And a good defensive play there. Really, in essence, no gain here, Jerry.
Yeah, they sniffed that out, shot right up the middle. Good penetration. That's how a defense can spoil any of the plans of any offense. Get past your man.
Peyton Anderson from Negaunee coming in with the play with Craig Kameen, from Escanaba. A lot of personnel changes. I can't even get my coaches straight from earlier on. So 3rd down and short. They need the 45 exactly, as you see with the chains at the top of your screen there. And Kameen in, give, and the handoff's really not going to go anywhere. Maybe a yard, but it is, in essence, here 4-down territory, Jerry.
Yeah, from this distance, yeah, you're gonna take one more stab at it. Why not? Again, another play with good penetration by the black team. They're kind of blowing up that line and disrupting things nicely.
Brody Sandville really nowhere to go out of the former Gladstone Brave, as now Nathan Beckman, you see. And again, it's interesting. Nathan Beckman right there, great career for the Westwood Patriots, playing against his entire former coaching staff. They're coaching the black team. He didn't get drafted by the black team. The red team beat the black team to him.
Smart.
It's a good pick.
Oh, yeah.
Real good pick. And he's got the offense. Peyton Anderson in the backfield there at the fullback position. It's going to be Beckman straight ahead. And the spot shows me he's about a foot shy. Anderson was pushing him from behind, but they have held once again. So another turnover on downs gives it back to the black team, who's riding some momentum now with the 14 unanswered.
Yes, indeed, capitalizing off of that turnover. Boy, another score here would really kind of put them in great position.
Now, still a long way to go, and as we've seen, anything can happen.
Absolutely. Yeah, you mentioned that game where
Ozzie
Corp came back.
Now, that was a fun one to watch. It was funny. We were talking before we went hot with the telecast here this afternoon. It's very comfortable in here today.
Compared to yesterday.
Last year was a bit warmer, and 3 years ago when Ethan and I did the game, I felt bad for Ethan. I thought he was just going to die. I mean, I'm a sweater, but oh boy. It can get very, very warm up here. So the black team takes over. Sundberg out of Ishmael, guns it low, looking for Martish, who took a little bump there from Hunter Smith defensively. But, the key ingredients for each team here, Jerry, are really starting to show. You got Kameen for Escanaba. You've got Beckman for Westwood. You've got, Robin Spink from Superior Central. These are the guys. You get Gavin Sundberg. And you got Luke Terrian. The key ingredient guys for both these teams are really kind of starting to boil to the top.
Well, sure, and now here in the second quarter, we're starting to see things come together a little bit more, a little more cohesion, a little more rhythm. And you figure that's going to take some time to develop. And but despite that, we did have some great plays and great scoring in the first quarter, too.
Stops the clock here as it's Gavin Sundberg again in the backfield here for the black team. And he bumps into Mardish. Football looked like it was going to bounce out, but Sundberg able to hold on. Luckily, as a little bit of a miscue between him and Mardish on that sweep out of the backfield.
Yeah, there was some confusion there. That play was broken right away.
Yeah, usually when you talk about a play getting blown up, it's the other team that does it, but black team kind of blew that play up themselves. As you see Gavin Sundberg, just a wonderful career for the Ishpeming Hematites and a deep playoff run for Jeff Olson's club last year.
Oh, yeah.
As Tate K out of Sault Ste. Marie in that white helmet standing right next to him. Twins either side here on 3rd down and 13. Sundberg back. He's got protection this time, but nowhere to go with it. And straight up the middle he goes, and he can hurt you this way. And Sundberg's going to rip off about a 6 or 7 yard gain, bringing up 4th and a little bit more manageable now. And it'll actually be from inside the 45-yard line of the Black All-Stars.
That was a great job to take a play that kind of broke down and get something out of it.
Yeah, and we talked about this too. In the regular season, you're not playing against all-star quality defensive backs. And so this little something, as you see Sundberg looking, he had his target in mind, just wasn't there.
Yep, so he had to make a quick decision, go up the middle. He's able to break that tackle and make something out of nothing.
And, gee, go figure. Another Calumet Copper King there on defense. Travis Ogelo's had a good first half of play. And they're going to call timeout, talk this one over. We'll join them 4th down when we come back here. It's the UP Football All-Star Game here on TV6. Well, back just in time for 4th and 8 for the Black All-Stars. Gavin Sundberg now all by himself there at quarterback, and is a design quarterback draw, and that is sniffed out beautifully, and the Red All-Stars will take over at the 44-yard line. Sniffed that out in great field position now after the end of the play.
Yeah, didn't fool them once there.
Most times when you see a player like Gavin Sundberg who's got that elusive type speed, when he's alone back there, most of the time that's what you're going to see.
Was that by design, like a bit of a delay before the run? Okay. I think that just gave them the time to get back there.
Well, we'll see if the red team can get any momentum here. They scored the game's first touchdown on a fumble recovery and a scoop and score, but they've been kind of quiet ever since. Beckman out of Westwood under center, and he's going to keep it and try and get the corner. He's got one man chasing him. That's Beauchamp out of Kingsford, and up he goes in a great gain for the Red All-Stars and a run of about 16 yards. Yeah, folks in West Ishpeming very, very accustomed to seeing that.
That's a great way to start off a drive too. You can really build on some momentum with that. You get a first down, a nice run to the outside.
Vince Hughes comes in with the play from the sideline, the graduated senior out of Gladstone. And the Red All-Stars in business at the 40-yard line. I formation now. Beckman looking to his left and ducks in under center. Seen a lot of shotgun in this one, not a lot of this. Beckman with a quick swing pass to the near side. That's going to be caught and getting dragged down in a hurry is Hughes. He got about 5 yards on the game, but boy, he paid the price. The defense was right there. Is that Pelizer there on the tackle out of West Iron?
Looks like it, yeah.
Grabbed him and wouldn't let him go. As you get another quick look at this one here. I'm noticing both teams here, Jerry, have gone to the quick drop and the quick pass instead of trying to set up there.
I think you want to see these plays develop more quickly. The lines are just too good. They're going to get in your backfield.
Beckman again under center. Fakes the pitch, and again near sideline incomplete.
Yeah, lines defensively for both the black team and the red team, they're getting in the backfield, so you're going to have the plays develop really quickly and get them out, get around the corners, or get the ball out of your hand and into the air.
I'm not sure if Hughes heard footsteps coming or what. The pass was right there, a little low, but certainly catchable. It stops the clock, though, as we're approaching the 8-minute mark here in the ballgame. Brady Eichmeyer out of North Central is split out to the top of your screen. And again, Beckman in under center. Didn't play a lot under center during the course of his career under Scott Sergila. Guns it here near sideline, got a man open at the 5 and into the end zone. We're almost tied. Matt Ojala from Calumet gets open from 40 yards out, and a great toss and catch, and Ojala's got himself an all-star touchdown.
Well, this drive started off with that great run, and here is the end. An excellent pass through the air, good spiral, wide open. And Ojala catches it, brings it in for the score.
So opening up a little bit here as the opportunity here for the extra point.
I think he had a big smile on his face.
And a little bit of a change in personnel here for the last moment. As Kameen will again be the holder for Sean Sandall out of Menominee. Pass back is good on the tee. They jump to block to no avail. And guess what, sir? We're 14-14.
14-all.
And we're also under 10. So we owe you. Nope. No, we owe you one after 5. So we'll keep it right here at the Dome and take another look. And again, you don't throw a better ball than that.
It was right on the money. Tight spiral. Exactly where it had to be. A little bit of pitch and catch. Excellent job.
And Polizer, who had made that play earlier, got outrun to the end zone.
I'm not sure if it was a case of him looking, again, more towards the quarterback or into the backfield, but he let this guy get behind him.
There's someone we all know and love.
Mike Ludlum and Todd Goldbeck.
Yeah, Todd Goldbeck right there was back to you. That is the gentleman that has been the catalyst for this whole thing since 2008. And as I can tell you, I was involved in that first year. It's gotten better and smoother. It'll never run itself.
I've got to say, I've been involved with this now. This is my 3rd or 4th year on some level, and Todd is incredibly organized. He has everything laid out perfectly all week long.
So Sandal's got it on the tee. He's been busy here for the last little bit. As we've tied it at 14, and Ethan Martish is back there. Do you kick it to Ethan Martish again is the question.
I'd be a little apprehensive.
As he opened the scoring with a 92-yard kick return right after the black team had scored on a fumble recovery. So we'll see what happens here. The little gamesmanship, and not on your life are they going to kick it to Ethan Martish. And this is going to give the Black All-Stars very good field position at the 37-yard line of their own, as falling on it for the black team, Chase Warner out of Pickford.
But a trade-off again. If you kick it to Martish, he could take it to the house again.
And of course, we mentioned Pickford and what a great run they had in the 8-player, making the state final right here at the Superior Dome before falling the first time in the 2018 season. But the opportunity was there for 2 UP teams because Rapid River got it done in Division II, and Pickford just ran into a buzzsaw in that Division I game.
Well, you mentioned earlier, too, it's 8-man coming to play this. There are some big differences between 8-man football and this.
There are, but at the end of the day, football's still football.
That's true.
You know, there are teams in the panhandle of Nebraska and out in the west part of Texas who are playing 6-player football.
Really? Which
is kind of crazy to think about. As Tyrion, again, just doing what he does and falling and pounding his way forward for an 8-yard gain.
That was a tough run.
Yeah, football as we know it. You know, the game that I played, back 1,000 years ago, and strap that pillow on your head and go play. Even at the time, when you played not all that long ago, the game is changing. A lot of it's changing for the better with better equipment, better coaching, better training.
Yeah, in terms of safety, absolutely. This game it's never been safer than it is right now.
But they're gone are the days of the hardcore two-a-days and things like that.
Indeed.
Which again, there's an upside and downside to both. Clock rolls, 2nd down after the run from Tyrion. Now he's got a man in motion. He's just going to keep this again. He's got an opening. He skips out of it, and he's going to finally get dragged to the turf as hauling him down. Brent Locust out of Calumet. Now, you noticing something defensively? We're hearing the name Calumet a lot.
Oh, yeah.
With these red defenders. There's a reason why. And these guys under John Crows up at Calumet are taught to play good defense.
Indeed, they are.
As, again, you get a full look at our view here at the Superior Dome. That's about the way we see it from there. Of course, we don't have the cool little zoom lens built in. As, again, it'll be Tyrion, the man in motion coming towards the middle of the formation. And he's just going to wait, and he waited, and he got greeted by 5 red jerseys. And the first one in the mix, once again, is wearing 14. That's Blanchard out of Engadine.
Sometimes you wait for that hole to open up, and it just doesn't.
Interesting. You mentioned the 8 players compared to the 11 player. We are going to be seeing, I believe, more and more 8-player football moving forward. If you ever get a chance to watch the 8-player game, though, it's a fascinating hybrid on what the 11-player game is. Usually a little bit more wide open.
Definitely.
And it's one of those things, if you get into the backfield, defensive backfield, you're gone. As I stand corrected, Locust, again, out of Calumet with the stick on the tackle there. But having the opportunity to do the state title games for the 8-player, it's really opened my eyes to just how interesting and neat that game really is.
I love the openness of it. From my experience in shooting UP football for about 10 years, it's generally a lot of ground and pound. You grind it out, a lot of running. And to see 8-man and have it be a little bit more open, as you mentioned, you get into the defensive backfield and it's a foot race. That is exciting football to watch.
As you get a look at the action on the scoreboard here at the Superior Dome. And it has been that good of a ball game at 14-14. We've had it all. Defensive scoring, special team scoring, some mistakes offensively with fumbles and things like that. Great hitting, great fundamental tackling. As Tyrion again in the backfield here from Kingsford. And they faked it to Kay, gunning it across the middle and overshooting his target was Tyrion. That was Sundberg. Again, out of Ishpeming.
Shows he had a lot of confidence in his receiver there because there was double coverage there, but he still tried to put it in there.
Well, Gavin Sundberg's got the speed to get to the ball. Sure. But the problem is you got Povolo right there from Kingsford. As you'll see this defensively, the defensive backs have been there.
Yeah, they have. They've been in place. Well, these are all-stars, as we've mentioned.
Maybe a little early, maybe a little contact, but I like the fact that they didn't throw the flag. It brings up 4th down and 7, stopping the clock here with 5:14 remaining here in the first half of play. Superior Dome in Marquette, the 12th annual UP Football All-Star Game has been a good one. Sundberg goes in motion. They give to him. Sundberg. And he is going to get wrapped up and a loss on the play. And it's funny, they finally give to him, and he's got nowhere to go.
He tried really hard to make something out of nothing, but the defense just had him sniffed out there. Good clean handoff. Everything was fine there, but just the pursuers had the right angle. Tried to cut on the brakes and flip it around. Just met.
Matthew Brewitt, the big kid out of North Dickinson, the former Nordic, chasing him down. And the ball sits right at midfield, and the red and the black here, as you see, 14-14. We'll recap the scoring as we get towards halftime, but don't be surprised if we have a little bit more before then.
Yeah, there's still 5 minutes left.
So it is Craig Kameen from Escanaba, again running the offense here. I formation behind him, faked the hand, and Kameen's just going to gun it. Looking downfield, he's got his man at the 5, touchdown, Red All-Stars. Wow. What a grab, as over the shoulder, Charlie Gerhard from Iron Mountain. I saw him do that same thing and hop away from 2 defenders in a win against Nagani last year. And Gerhard, having a great season in both football and basketball, has himself a tremendous catch.
And the throw, too. The throw was right on the money, just past the defender, where only he could get it right on the fingertips. And we've mentioned it before, he had time to throw that pass.
And Blanchard, again, they picked on him a couple of times. He's having a good game defensively. There's just nothing he could do about that. You couldn't defend that any better if they'd paid the kid. So the red team, Sean Sandal's been busy. And again, Kameen, after tossing the touchdown, will be the holder. And back and forth we go. Kick is through, and it is good, and we owe you a break. And the red team back on top by 7 here in Marquette this afternoon. Well, do we have an answer for that touchdown? As the red now leads by 7, they blast this one, and it is bobbled by the black team. And finally picking it up, and not much there. As picking it out for the black team was Mason Shining out of Munising, and they kicked a bullet right at him.
Yeah, they did. That was tough. It bounced right off his pads. That could have gone much worse.
Well, obviously they weren't going to kick to Mardish, who burned him from 92 yards out in the first quarter.
Fool me once.
But, yeah. They had a game a couple of years ago where they kicked to the same kid 3 times. It's like sooner or later, you might want to figure out that 19's got some wheels. He had a punt return for a touchdown, 2 kickoff returns for a touchdown.
Well, not that long ago, you saw it in the NFL too. Remember Devin Hester?
Oh, yeah.
Like, never kicked to that guy.
So the black team, after riding some momentum, has now found themselves in a 7-point hole. And Gavin Sundberg from Ishpeming straight back. And he's going to look across the middle. It is caught. Martish dropped it. And they'll say incomplete.
Throw him just a little behind him.
Yeah, got him right on his hip, but that's a catchable ball. And Ethan Martish will tell you at the end of the day he should have had that one. But Sundberg threw him a dart. Had to reach back for it, and a great job in coverage. And I'm gonna talk about Hunter Smith again.
Yeah, he was on him.
Hunter Smith has been on the receivers. Very, very good, and he did that his entire career for Jeff Olson at Ishpeming. And how strange is it to say that Jeff Olson's not going to be coaching at Ishpeming next year? George Nemi takes over and do a great job as he's part of that program and has been for a while. Sundberg dancing out of trouble. Sundberg dancing out of more trouble and now danced right into trouble. And a nice stick on the red team there, wearing number 40, Logan Krulik from Ishpeming. So Ishpeming on Ishpeming. Krulik won the bench press, I believe.
I think that's right, yeah.
What, 220 pounds like 21 times. That's just wrong.
Yeah.
On so many levels. As you see the 2 former Hematites in an odd situation here. 3rd and 15 here for the black team as you see the coaching staff on the far side. That was George Nemi that was on your left of your screen there briefly. The black trying to climb back in this one as we head towards halftime here at the Superior Dome in Marquette. Another entertaining edition in 2019 of the UP Football All-Star Game. Now the game play clock's running, so Sundberg's got to get something rolling here. And they fly the flags, and they didn't get it off in time.
There really haven't been too many flags, though.
Now, with this being an all-star game, I'm not quite sure what, if anything, the MHSAA has to do with this, but you have the scoreboard play clocks for when NMU is playing in here. I'm not wondering if that's something that they petitioned to use or they just opted not to do it because these kids have never had that in the first place.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think, yeah, the refs usually keep track.
Oh, yeah. No, you see delay a game without the play clock in high school all the time. But it's 3rd and 20 now for Sundberg. Here comes pressure, and he's going to dance out of it at first and then gets spun down in a loss on the play of about 6 or 7, so 4th down and forever. We'll put up a punting situation here for sure for the black team.
We've seen a lot of momentum swings in this game.
So the black All-Stars will be kicking out of their own end zone, which can usually be trouble too. And speaking of trouble, Robin Spink from Superior Central is back to collect in the punt from Tate K out of Sault Ste. Marie. Pass back is perfect, and this will be launched far side. Fink's going to let it bounce. It takes a roll right to him, and the former Cougar cuts upfield to the 40. Cannot elude the coverage there, and he's going to gain the 40 with 2:46 to go here, Jerry. That's plenty of time for this offense.
Absolutely.
Well, especially if they pull out another play like they did to Charlie Gerhard just a moment ago.
Exactly. It'll be interesting to see the choice of play, though. I mean, do you want to throw on first, try to eat up some of the yards right away?
My guess is right now it's clock management too.
Yes, absolutely.
As we're under 3 minutes to go. They're having a little fun here in the Dome this afternoon. This is such a great environment. And usually, and we're seeing it again today, we're entertained to a great high school football game.
Absolutely.
And the best of the best showing it off here again on a Saturday afternoon as it's Beckman looking, keeping, coverage breaking down, and that's what Nathan Beckman did for so many years under Scott Sergila, making something out of nothing.
Yeah, from up here, it looked like he was going to be stopped in the backfield, but he's able to shoot up there for, what, 3-4?
About a 3-yard gain.
Yeah.
And with the amount of time remaining here in the first half, that's actually a very, very smart play. And so the play comes in from Brody Sandville out of Gladstone. So we've been at this for just shy of an hour and a half, and those 15-minute quarters do kind of add up, and much longer than your typical high school game because you're seeing a lot more throwing than you normally will.
Definitely.
And Beckman hands off, and there's just nothing there. Good grief. Hello, Brody Sandville. Welcome to the All-Star game. I'd like you to meet my large friends wearing black jerseys. Wow. I didn't see who got in there, but
I think it was Christian Cretan.
They shot the gap big on that play. Clock continues to roll as we're under 140 to go. And third down and no gain on the play. And again, the red team really in no hurry right now because this is for sure 4-down territory.
Absolutely. Yeah, you have to.
Receiver either side here for Nathan Beckman. I formation behind him, dropping back. He's got a little bit of a time, starts to break down. They go far sideline once again, some pushing and shoving. They keep the flag in the pocket, and everybody's okay as he was looking for Brady Eichmeyer out of North Central.
We don't have a pass interfering call yet, do we?
No, and at this level, the coverage is usually so good.
Sure.
And the receivers' routes are usually so pure. I mean, a little hand checking there. But
Nothing.
Great job defensively on the black team from Caden Polizer out of West Iron County.
Yeah, nothing egregious.
And it's an all-star game. Let them play.
Yeah.
Let them play. I mean,
I like that idea.
You could very much in a game like this, we could be seeing holding calls on the line on every play. But, yeah, let them go. Let's have some fun. And we are. This is great. Glad you could join us here on TV6. He's Jerry Tudor. Mark Evans, our entire TV6 crew. Hope you're enjoying your summertime and your, I can't believe I'm saying this, 4th of July week.
Oh, my God. Yeah, it goes too quick.
It really, truly does. So the red team going to burn their last time out and talk this one over as you take a look at one of the better ones out there in Matt Ojala, again from Calumet. And we see a lot of the Copper Kings are out there and all with great careers and a great senior season with that undefeated run through the Westpac. Ojala, Locust, both Ojalas, I should say. And you get another look here at this great touchdown catch.
Doesn't get much better. That ball was just perfectly placed. The route was there. Great job to hold on to it.
And Gerhard maybe celebrating a tad early on that as the defender was there. But, Charlie, a very, very confident kid. Great senior year in football. Great senior year in that basketball run for Iron Mountain, making it all the way down to East Lansing. And then, of course, what transpired there at the end of that game is going to be talked about forever.
I don't think there's very many people north of the bridge who are a fan of.
It was interesting because my wife and I went to Iceland last week, and on our flight from Montreal back to Chicago, the kid behind me had a Pewamo, Westphalia state championship basketball T-shirt on. I just about came unglued, but I kept it. 4th and 8 here. Let's get back to football. Beckman looking as he rolls, going to launch it. He had a man wide open out of the backfield, and he just couldn't hook up with Seth Aho out of Gwynn. Quarterback to quarterback, and Seth's another one of these guys. A great career for the Model Towners, which is easy to do when you have a Tucker Taylor you're playing with.
Sure, and on that last throw, Beckman knew right away. He held his hand up and said, that was me. That was my fault.
There's no guarantee that Aho gets the first down, but he was certainly in position and all alone. First time we've had a chance to talk about him out of the backfield.
So they have 1:05. They got some definite yardage to chew up here.
Now Dion Brown at Gwynn's going to have some big holes to fill with both Aho and Tucker Taylor graduating out of that team from last year. And Sundberg guns it near side, got a man open midfield, and getting spun around quickly is Scheiding from Munising, and he's right at the marker, so they'll stop the clock and they're going to give him the first down. So a good play for the former Mustang. But he stayed in bounds. They're going to set the chains, and they're going to get this clock rolling, and there it goes. Sundberg with a split offense. Snap back to him. He's looking. Eyed up his target just a little too long, and coming in there on the red team defensively. Well, we've been talking about his place-kicking abilities. How about Sean Sandall from Menominee?
Actually, last night they mentioned Menominee has the most all-star
all-time
players. Yep.
Wonder why. Yeah, because that program's never been any good throughout the courses of the seasons. My goodness. The clock will continue to roll, and I don't know if they're just going to let the play clock roll all the way down or if they're just going to let the half roll. I'm not we don't have a clue as to what the difference is between the two. We're down to 7 seconds to go. And both teams just kind of milling around on second and forever. And they're just going to let the clock wind down and expire. Entertaining first half, Jerry. This has been fun.
Lots of scoring. The defensive stands we've seen, the defensive touchdown we saw, special teams plays. It's been great.
And the nice part is we got more to go. Back to the Dome here in just a couple of moments. The Red on top by 7 here, heading into halftime. Yes, it has been that exciting. The Red was down 14-7, and here at halftime, they take a touchdown lead into the locker room. Jerry and I mentioned earlier during the telecast the skills competition between the Red and the Black teams here in All-Star Week. Mike Ludlam's going to break that down and who won what and what that atmosphere can be like in the skills competition. That's on the way here for you. It is the UP Football All-Star Game. We'll continue in a moment here on TV6.
Welcome to halftime of the 12th annual UP Football All-Star Game. I'm Mike Ludlam. Good game in the first half. Some good plays by the defense, and the offense has had a number of them as well. As we take a look at the scoreboard, Red leads Black 21-14. Each team had a touchdown in the first quarter. Mitchell Legrave of Norway scored on a fumble return to give the Red a 7-0 lead, but on the ensuing kickoff, Marquette's Ethan Mardish danced and pranced 93 yards for the touchdown to tie the game at 7. 3 touchdowns in the second quarter, the last 2 by the Red. So Red has the 7-point lead at the break, 21-14. You'll see highlights of those in a few minutes. Wednesday of the Upper Peninsula All-Star Week brings us to the skills competition at the Superior Dome. We'll start with who can do the most bench presses at 225 pounds. The first contestant is Ishpeming's Logan Krulik.
11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Get up, baby!
22 reps was the final total for Mr. Krulik, the NMU recruit, putting him in the lead for the lineman division. He was pressed by 2 others. 8-player Division II state champion Gunnar Larson of Rapid River turned in a performance of 20 reps. And Westwood Sam Gillis struggling to get his last 2. He also ended up with a total of 20. 40-yard dash, Brandon Christensen of Newberry. Off to a good start here, and he crosses the line in 4.54 seconds. He was the overall winner, with Marquette's Ethan Mardish a very, very close second. 1/100th of a second slower at 4.55 seconds. Taking a look at the results. You see Krulik won the lineman bench press. The non-lineman bench press was taken by Gwynn's Tucker Taylor. He had 10 reps. In the lineman 40-yard dash, Colin Bromer of Gogibic was the winner in 4.81 seconds. And on the non-lineman side, it was Newberry's Brandon Christensen, as we mentioned, in 4.54. Krulik also won another category, the wide receiver competition for the linemen. The non-lineman receiver honors went to Rapid River's Nate Olson. West Iron County's Caden Pleaser had the longest throw at 57 yards. Sean Sandel of Menominee booted a 50-yard field goal. And Tate Kay of Sault Ste. Marie really unloaded a new record overall for the punt at 67 yards. That's all for halftime. We'll send it back out to Mark Evans and Jerry Tudor at the Superior Dome.
Mark Evans, Jerry Tudor back here at the Superior Dome in Marquette. It's been that entertaining, 21-14. Jerry, let's take a look at how we got here, because this has been a lot of fun.
Yeah, very entertaining. It started right here with this fumble recovery by the Red team, number 23. That was...
That's Legrave out of Norway, with a little scoop and score, and they enjoyed the lead for, well, my friend, a very, very brief time thanks to this young man.
Yeah, Mardish, he does what he does. Right up the middle, bounces off, gets the outside corner, and he is off to the races. And he knows what the back of the end zone looks like all too well. 92
yards for the former Marquette Redman. And that evened things up here. And then we went on a little bit of a tear for the black jerseys, because they took a turnover and did this.
Yep, just a quick pitch and catch right into the end zone.
And it looked like the red team might have their struggles, but they get it here to the near sideline. And that is brought in by Matt Ojala from Calumet. And then probably here, my friend, the play of the first half.
A beautiful pass right to the man with the fingertips.
Charlie Gerhard, the former Mountaineer, brings it in, and that is where we are with about $1:25 remaining here on the scoreboard. Second half of action promises to be, I would think, my friend, just about as good.
I hope so. We're looking forward to it.
Back after these. Second half coming up on TV6. Trevor Povolo and Robin Spink back for the kickoff here for the red team. And they're going to make it a short kick, and that player is down with the knee on the surface. That is Hunter Lepinen out of Brimley on special teams right there. And with that, we are underway here in our second half. And you get a sense here, at least I do, Jerry, that things are going to settle down a little bit here. You get the first half out of the way, the mistakes are out of the way, the fumbles. I don't see a lot of that in this second half now that the coaches have had a chance to sit everybody down.
I think you're right. I totally agree. I think this, especially this third quarter, you're going to see some tighter play, fewer mistakes. Yeah, the coaches have had a chance to settle them down, say, we know where we stand now. Let's play football the right way.
Nathan Beckman will take over in the offensive backfield here, and the former Westwood Patriots got an angle to his right. And it's closed on him pretty well, but a good gain on the play of about 5 yards and a good, safe play to start things off here. We talked about the turnovers in the first half.
Yep, we saw some high snaps, and of course the fumble that turned out to be a touchdown. And now that should be all out of the way, I would imagine.
Good field position here for the Red after the squib kick that's out to the 40-yard line. Now second down and 5, and again just underway here. And a tight one, 21-14 as you see the Red. They trailed 14-7, 14 unanswered, and that's where we stand. Beckman, again, the design run to the right. Gains the line of scrimmage plus about 4, so third down and 1 from the 44-yard line of the red team.
I think there was a play that worked so nice they ran it twice.
Well, you know, there's a lot of thought that goes into this when high school football, and that is run it until they stop it. You know, I mean, especially if you've got a kid right there like Nathan Beckman, who just odd to see him with that Gwynn Model Towner logo on the side of his helmet. But you know, until they stop it, I mean, he's a kid that can carry you all the way down the field. You know, any one of these guys, I mean, like I said, they're all all-stars. They're all out there for a reason.
Sure.
But Beckman is going to be about 7 yards off the line of scrimmage and can cut it straight up. And to the line of scrimmage he goes, got just enough. And he'll be swarmed under by a group of black jerseys. Leading the charge was Blanchard from Engadine. But again, you know, until you can stop Nathan Beckman, why would you change anything?
Well, it makes sense, and it's safer too. Like we said, we'll probably see a little bit more conservative play here in this third quarter.
Yeah, they were running and gunning pretty good in that first half of play. I hope you folks were with us for that first half because as you saw in the highlights, had some pretty good stuff going on here. That is Ike Meyer from North Central split out to the top of your screen. Everybody else going to stay in tight. And a little waggle there in the backfield for the Red All-Stars. Beckman with a high snap, grabs it, holds on to it, and falls forward for a gain of about 3, which could have been a disaster. Instead, he turned it into a positive play.
Like he does. Not the first time he's done that in this game. Take a play that kind of breaks down and get something out of there.
And like I said, I find it interesting that one of the guys in on the tackles, Ashton Bergman, who was his running back teammate for a couple of falls over at West Ishpeming.
I think you take a little joy in sticking it to your former teammate.
Well, yeah, like I said, with Beckman right there, you know, the entire black coaching staff is his high school coaching staff. You know, from Westwood, with the way the draft goes, there's Ishpeming players on both teams. There's players from Munising on both teams. There's players from, you know, Sault Ste. Marie on both teams. There's Superior Central. It's just a really, really neat angle of this ball game. Beckman fakes the run. He's got a receiver open downfield. It is fought for and incomplete. They don't throw the flag. And that, again, probably the right call, as back in coverage was Blanchard, again, out of Engadine, having himself a great game.
Yeah, that was excellent coverage by Blanchard. I wouldn't have thrown the flag here either. Of course, they've been letting him play so far, especially in the backfield. But that was excellent coverage. Blanchard was right with him.
I hope we get another look at that, because take a look at the defense on this play. You know, the receiver's there, and they're both kind of hand-fighting and chucking each other.
They both kind of made an equal play at the ball, too.
And again, Ojala from Calumet And his 14 counterpart, Blanchard, having some fun there in the defensive backfield. 3rd and 10, 46-yard line. That stops the clock. As Beckman will call it out. Good coverage. He's got Tucker Taylor, who's trying to get up off the pile. But again, a great tackle. We saw a couple of these from Beauchamp of Kingsford there defensively. 4th down, about 5.
What I love about Taylor, though, he's a very strong runner. I love a kind of runner that'll pull you right over.
Oh, he'll lower the head.
Yeah.
He'll come right. He'll instigate contact.
Yeah, and playing defense, it makes you second guess yourself. You're like, I'm going to try to tackle
Do
him.
I really want this large, strong young man running at me full strength?
Exactly.
So switching things up here for the West. And unclear if they're going to kick it away or not. They've dropped Mardish back in punt coverage. And they line up in formation to kick the ball away. But this is an all-star game. Snap is not a good one. It is brought down and blocked. And it is going to be picked up. Doesn't matter who picks it up. It's going to be the black football. The thing is, can they advance it? They cannot. Now, I didn't see who got in there, as Eichmeyer was back in punt formation, and the punt missed him, but he was able to get it to his right, and then everything broke down and went to heck after that.
I didn't get to see who got the block. You have to start with a high snap.
And that's actually Wilson from Gogibic.
Oh, yeah.
And the big number 60 getting in there, Sam Gillis of Westwood, another Patriot having himself a good game.
Also, Colin Bromer from Gogibic had a shot at the ball there. He was in the scrum at the end there.
So Parker Wilson from Gogibic, just a good job just to get his hands on that snap. But everything broke down after that, and then the big fella came in, Gillies, and it was all over from there. So the black team with a break, and here's Sundberg from Ishpeming trying to get the corner, and he's got a bit of an angle. He's just going to run out of bounds after gaining maybe a yard. But again, that stops the clock, and good pursuit by the Red All-Stars that time.
What a break for the Black All-Stars here now, trailing by 7 with excellent field position. You couldn't ask for a better start for your half.
So it is an official gain of 1 here. But Sundberg, the former Ishpeming Hematite, ran that one out of bounds. With 11:02 remaining. 2nd and long. Tate K in the backfield here with Sundberg. They've not used him much other than as a decoy and as a blocker. And now Mardish comes in motion. They fake to him. Sundberg straight ahead, wrapped up immediately. Getting there in a real hurry was, well, guess who? Beckman got him.
Yeah, with games like this, of course, everybody's an all-star. They wouldn't be on the field. But there are some players that stand out, even amongst the all-stars. We've heard the name Ojula quite a lot tonight. Today, rather.
I may stand corrected on who made that tackle, and an official's timeout. And again, they went with Mardish again as the decoy. And Sundberg just went straight up the gut, and I thought that was a 10 wearing red, but that may have been mistaken. Because I don't think 10 is out there wearing red. And I don't know if we've got a sideline warning going on or what the deal is.
Well, they're definitely backing the Red All-Star coaching staff back towards the sideline.
Play clock is in motion. Now the game clock will join suit. And it'll be 3rd down and, well, just about 10 here for Gavin Sundberg running the show here for the Black All-Stars. Mardish again in motion. And this time they give to Ethan Mardish, and he can't get the corner. Now he kept the legs pumping, got to about the 21-yard line, but they bring up 4th down. And again, a whole host of red players right there. Leading the charge was Trevor Hendrickson from Calumet.
Yeah, no surprise.
Yeah, John Crow's had a great senior class last year. There's just no two ways of putting it.
Well, and had Mardish not kept his feet turning there, he probably would have been pushed backwards and lost a couple of yards.
And if you're the black team, here is your chance to climb back in this one, but it's now 4th and officially 7. And Sundberg's going to stay running the show. And they'll send a man in motion here to the near side. And that is Lundquist out of Rapid River. Had himself a great state championship game. As they gun it across, they got the man open. First down, guess who? Out of the backfield, Luke Terrian.
Another tough, hard runner after the catch.
Blake Hewitt, another Westwood Patriot, slightly shaken up on that play, but it will be a first down for the black team. And watch this gun.
Yeah, that was a bullet.
Those two teamed up for one of the black touchdowns in the first half.
Yep.
And Terrian just got away from the defender Ojala to get into the end zone. As you see, good contingent here this afternoon. These crowds have gotten better and better every year.
Yeah, and all these fans, family members supporting their players coming from all across the UP.
And it's not just parents and girlfriends anymore.
No.
You know, you're seeing a lot of young kids in here, a lot of kids that are going to be high school football players in the years to come. You know, mom and dad bringing them for an opportunity to see this game. And it's been as advertised. 9 to go here. And the black team trying to draw the equalizer on 1st and goal. Man in motion here, and Terrian now at quarterback. Cuts away nicely to the goal line. He got it. His second touchdown of the ball game. This one on the ground. And we're an extra point away from tying this one up.
Well, a lot like Tucker Taylor, he's another strong runner. Just runs full steam ahead. Is not afraid to, again, lower the shoulder and knock you over. And here he goes, just right up the middle. Good handoff. Little change of direction there, but plows right on through.
Yeah, that little juke move was just enough.
Yep.
And Povolo just couldn't get there in time. And we'll try and tack on the extra point here. As Schmidt from Bark River Harris. Blasted to the uprights, and he got it. And we are deadlocked here in the dome. Back with the kick in a moment here on TV6. Well, it may be a beautiful summer afternoon, but we got ourselves some hardcore high school football going on side here in the Superior Dome. Deadlocked at 21, third quarter, alongside Jerry Tudor, Mark Evans, our entire TV6 crew. And we wish you a very, very happy Independence Day week, which will be starting, believe it or not, on Monday. And they blast it right at one of the up men, hoping to get a turnover. That hit off the chest, the big number 70 wearing red. That's Devin Roscoe out of Bark River Harris. It's finally covered by the red team, who will enjoy, again, Jerry, great field position.
Yeah, that was a good strategy. They very nearly got that turnover.
You don't see that a lot in high school. You see a lot of squib kicks, but you don't see a lot of them blasting it right at a guy, because once it hits him, it's a live ball for everybody.
Yeah, that was, I think, part of the design. He looked quite surprised to get hit in the chest with that.
Decent hands.
Yeah.
So the red team, after giving up the score, 45-yard line of their own. Craig Kameen back in to run the show here on offense, wearing that orange helmet from Escanaba. And I love that emblem that they've got with the Eskimos, the E, but the middle portion of the E is the UP.
It's excellent.
It's a great design. And they give, and around to the far side, not much there wearing red. That is Brody Sandville out of Gladstone. And he's going to actually wind up losing about a half a yard. A little quicker pace here in this second half. We have not seen quite as many balls in the air.
Yeah, we talked about it coming out of the half. Probably going to see a little bit more conservative style play, maybe your more traditional UP kind of smash mouth, run it.
I'm getting a sense here, Jerry, maybe you are as well, that this doesn't have the feel that it's going to be a great play that wins it. It might be a crucial mistake that loses it.
Very well could be.
And with that, you want to kind of tighten things down and play to your strengths, because we're in a deadlock game and it's been as even as advertised. Kameen's going to have to flush himself out. Rolling right. Kameen's got a couple of black jerseys trying to track him down, and finally it is Bergman that tracks him and pushes him out of bounds after a gain of about 6. And Ashton Bergman out of Westwood, can't say enough about this kid and what he meant to that program.
Oh, sure. I love, as a quarterback, when you're running like that and you have to you've got to make up your mind and say, look, it's not there, I got to go.
Yep. Well, and like you said, you know, we've seen all the quarterback play have been making pretty good decisions.
Oh, sure.
Here in this ball game.
And we've seen whenever they have time to set up proper in the pocket or even on a rollout, if they have time to get rid of it, it usually is a good result for them.
Spread offense here for Craig Kameen. One man with him in there in the backfield. He looks left, guns far sideline. That was right through the wickets of Ojala, who actually had another receiver standing right in front of him, and actually Ojala kind of reacted late. I think he may have been guessing the player in front was going to go up. So that was an odd looking play, and that'll bring up 4th down, another punting situation. Now remember, the last one the black team blocked and took it in for a score.
Yeah, they are hoping for a different outcome this time, I'm sure, the red team.
And so that'll bring in Parker Wilson, again, the Gogibic range minor. Trying to kick this one away. Now Mardish is back deep here for the black shirts. He's already got a 92-yard kick return for a score to his credit this afternoon. Pass back is a little high, but better than the last one, and he gets this one away. It's a wobbling spiral. It's going to take a bounce at about the 15, and they'll just let it roll. And well done by Parker Wilson there, having his last one blocked, able to get a spiraling kick that dies inside the 10.
Of course, that's the thing for any athlete at any level, high school, collegiate, or pro. You got to have a short memory. You make a mistake, yep, we did. Then you move forward and you try not to do it again.
So what does the black team have for momentum after putting a touchdown on the board a little while ago? Fun afternoon here in the 12th annual UP Football All-Star Game. And like Jerry mentioned a moment ago, we've seen it all.
Yeah, we've seen scoring in all shapes and sizes. Everybody's playing their best. It's been a very fun UP All-Star football game.
So that's Gavin Sundberg with the blue helmet out of Ishpeming leading the offense here for the black team. And he's just going to gun to his right wide away, and he short-hopped Mardish. No, he pulled it off the turf. And Mardish is going to get the first down. From this distance, it looked like it was a short hop. The official standing right on the scene to let him go, and Ethan Mardish with a big play. We're going to get a real good look at this.
Let's see if we have a Franco Harris immaculate reception type grab.
No, that short hopped him.
Yeah. Yep, that hit the turf.
But to Ethan Mardish's credit, he played the whistle and actually did a nice job of selling it. You see Hunter Smith with the shrug of the shoulders waiting for the call that never came. So a big first down here, and that gets the black team out of the hole a little bit. And Sundberg guns it far side, got his man open. Wrapping up immediately, however, that's Scheiding out of Munising in the former Mustang, and a flag flies, and we can have a face mask on this one.
Well, again, off that last play that was a short hop, I guess the old adage, act as if.
Yes. Hey, the whistle doesn't blow, the game is still going. I find it interesting to see a Munising Mustang player wearing a Newberry. That's the great thing about this. We've had some good looks at the helmet configurations, we'll call them.
Sure. With
all the different logos. It's impossible to tell sometimes where a kid is from unless you read his number and you read the roster.
Yeah, from up here for sure.
Especially when it's like a white helmet, which could be the Sioux.
Yep.
Could be Menominee.
Yep.
Gold helmet could be Engadine, could be Rapid River, could be Nagani. Blue, Kingsford, Ishpeming, we don't know. Because they got 15 different logos on their helmets. So after the play and after the 5-yard face mask, it is first down and a couple. And Sundberg looking to his left, and he's just going to gun this one for Mardish, and he missed him at the 45-yard line.
Well, it goes without saying, but I'll say it anyway. If he hits him in stride, that is a touchdown.
There wasn't a defender within 5 yards of Ethan Mardish right there, and that's the second time he's been missed.
Yep.
And a great little juke move from Mardish to get away from Hunter Smith. And just didn't cut inside enough, and the pass led him just a little bit too far. But it's a great play call on 1st and 3.
Oh, sure. Absolutely. And we've mentioned it before, multi-sport athlete, Mardish, a track star as well.
Well, he certainly showed the wheels in that first half with a 92-yard kick return for a touchdown to even the game at 7-7 at the time. Sundberg looking, guns right side. Mardish on his knees is able to make the grab. That's a 7-yard gain and a first down. And the Marquette Redmen have a weapon that they're going to have to replace.
Yeah, that's the thing with high school sports. You know, your talented kids go up through the program after 4 years, and then they go on. And that sometimes that can be a really tough thing to replace.
Another look at this, and Sundberg's, I think, starting to feel it. His passing just looks better coming out of his hand. And Mardish, the only one in the vicinity of that. Hunter Smith making sure he didn't get any further. So first down for the black shirts here, 6:15 and rolling in this third quarter of play. Black team has already evened the score. They trailed by a touchdown at halftime. And now it is a change-up here in the lineup as Luke Tarian out of Kingsford takes over. That's almost a 5-yard gain. And once again, Jonah Miller in from Eganine to make the play defensively.
So fun to watch this all-star game where you can swap out personnel like that, exchange one talented person for a totally different kind of talent. That's great.
Well, and the advantage that you have if you're the black team right now is you got Tyrion who can play quarterback, Sunbird who can play quarterback, both can play receiver, both can go out of the backfield. Same is true for the red team with players like Kameen and Beckman and what they're able to do. So this is a direct snap. And for the first time, they go to Tate K out of the Sioux, but the red team ready for that one, the former Sault Ste. Marie Devil, is brought down for no gain. And something riled up the red team sideline. I didn't see what it was. Somebody who made a stop, or
I didn't catch it either, but they are pumped.
The red team's right down here in front of it, and they were just freaking out, having a grand old time. I didn't quite see why, but it is 3rd down and about 5 here for the black team. Again, trying to take their first lead since they led 14-7 earlier in the first half. Tyrion's got a man in motion, and the big fella's going to keep it. Got wrapped up, and here comes help. And getting there for the red team, well, take a look at that. Another Calumet Copper King and Travis Ojala.
Terrific year they had. It was so much fun getting to cover them. Bit of a drive coming from TV6 all the way up to Calumet to cover some of their games, but it was well worth the trip to watch them put on a great show.
You know, that Calumet program has year in and year out had great players, great athletes, but John Crows has got a consistency going now, and they're a very scary program to a lot of levels here. 4th down and a couple. Tyrion's trying to find his way through. They're going to wrap him up for no gain on the play, and the red team will take over on down. Guess who on defense once again?
Yep.
Travis Ojala from Calumet.
Yep.
So the clock will stop on the transfer of downs.
You know, we talked about the loss of talent, and what can overcome that is that consistency, that coaching strategy.
Well, you have to have an interest. You have to have some history. You have to have a feeder program. You have to have younger cousins, younger brothers, always wanting to come up and be that next group of play. I know a lot of school districts, they have like their 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade touch football programs on Saturday that the teams actually run, the players run that to keep the young kids interested. Red team will take over here after taking over the football on downs. Craig Kameen rolling out. He's going to look, a lot of black jerseys around, guns this one high in the air looking for Gerhard, and some contact, but pretty much, in my guess, an uncatchable ball. As back on defense again is Andrew Blanchard out of Engadine. And we got a flag on the far side of the field. Too many men.
It looks like he was counting them up.
That's Charlie Morrison right there, and I've known Charlie for years. He can certainly count to 12. He's got 12. So they'll sort this all out. And it's in essence a free play plus 5 yards. Yep, too many men.
Wow.
And that, in my mind, Jerry, that is almost like an all-star mistake, because you got guys coming in, coming out, coming in. Am I in on this set? Am I out on this set? That one doesn't surprise me.
That's an excellent point. Yeah, when you're going to see that many personnel switches, yeah, that can happen.
Gives them a 1st down, so it puts it at the 28-yard line. Red team led at halftime, 21-14. We've had the 1 touchdown to even it up. And now the red team with Craig Kameen out of Escanaba leading the charge. He's got Fink at the tail and Peyton Anderson from Nagani there at the fullback position. And they give to Robbins Fink. He moves forward for a gain of a couple. And the former Superior Central Cougar will be peeled off the carpet after a whole bunch of black jerseys there to pull him down. Runs very, very hard, very low to the ground.
Yeah, and that can be tough to tackle, too. I mean, obviously they tell you the low man will win the battle in a tackle, but if you're going after, I mean, look at Barry Sanders. You know? Such a short guy. It's tough to get lower than him.
So Charlie Gerhardt in with the play here from Iron Mountain. He'll be split out on the inside to the right. Joining him, Matt Ojala from Calumet, the out receiver, and then twins out to the left-hand side here for Craig Kameen. And he will drop back. He's got coverage. He looks downfield, threw it behind Ojala. Beauchamp from Kingsford there on the coverage. If that leads him just a little bit more, he's dancing. But Beauchamp able to really recover in a hurry.
Yeah, nice design on the play. Snap was a little low, but it didn't affect Kameen. It was just a little bit behind him.
And he just about made a circus catch, too.
Yep.
So this is a key down here for the red team because of where they are on the field. Not really in field goal range just yet. But Sean Sandahl from Menominee was bombing them in pregame. So we'll see what happens here. They get to like 4th and 5 or something like that and see what's going on. But Kameen's got it, and he's going to gun it near side, and the receiver Gerhardt hadn't turned around yet, missed him anyway. So that'll bring up 4th down and 8, and an interesting decision here from the near sideline.
Yeah, that'd be very curious.
That'd be a bomb from here.
Yeah.
That would be a 44-yard field goal, which he was hitting from about there. That was about his max. But he also didn't have, 11 black jerseys trying to tear him apart at the same time, too.
Yeah, exactly. Much different than warm-up.
So you see Craig Kameen there getting the play call. And if we have another exchange of the football, we'll take that under 5 break. Just a shout out to the guys down where it's a lot cooler. down in the tech room here at the Superior Dome. So Kameen out of the shotgun. That's Fink standing to his right. Snap back to him, and Kameen's going to roll. He's going to look. He's got a man open near side. Sliding grab is complete. And that is Matt Ojala from Calumet coming up big. Good coverage on him defensively, and Ojala really the only one that was going to be able to get to that football. And a nice toss here from Kameen because he had to keep it outside where only the receiver could get there. Look at the coverage. I mean, if you're wearing 1 in black, you can't do any better than that.
Yeah, he was right there. And again, another great throw. Kameen is so good at throwing the ball against his body on the run.
Well, we've said this about some other guys, but he's another one that the Gladstones, Menominees, Marquettes of the world are not going to miss.
Yeah.
After putting up, like I said, almost like feels like a 13-year career. So a first down for the red team as they keep marching here. I formation with Fink and Anderson behind Kameen, who rolls now to his left. And again, missing the receiver out of the backfield. That Peyton Anderson open and threw it just behind his ear hole. And again, stopping the clock. And it was interesting because during halftime, Jerry and I were joking about how the last minute and a half of the first quarter took like an hour. And we're kind of falling into that same category here with the end of the third quarter.
Yeah, and that's not typical of high school football normally throughout the regular season.
Well, you don't see this many pass attempts during the regular season. You really don't, despite the fact, like you see a Nathan Beckman right there, and what he's capable of doing, and Craig Kameen, what he's capable of doing. Most coaches will keep it pretty high school honest, as I like to call it. But you get into an all-star game like this, and you got the receiver core that you do, and you've got an Ethan Martis, you got a Charlie Gerhardt. I mean, you got to find ways to get those playmakers open. And both players in the backfield calling for the ball. Beckman on 2nd down and 10. The former Westwood Patriot will carry it forward for a gain of about 3. So it's an interesting set, and Westwood did this a lot with Beckman and blanking for some reason on the Ashton Bergman. Sorry. Mm-hmm. Both would be back, hands out, waiting for the ball, and the snap was almost up to the center. Similar to what you see in Menominee. It wasn't a single wing.
But close.
It was a hybrid of it. The single wing, you'll have 3 guys back there.
Yep.
And the center kind of makes the decision on what's going to happen. 3rd down and 6 here for the red team. And again, it is a direct snap to Bergman, who had to jump for it. He's looking downfield, got a man there in Tucker Taylor, and a great defensive play from Beauchamp from Kingsford, and Tucker Taylor had that one, and it was knocked right out of his hands.
Yeah, we've talked about the coverage in this game. These DBs, they know what they're doing.
And watch Beckman. Do I run? Do I run? Do I throw? I throw, and Tucker Taylor had it knocked out of his hands as our view was blocked by Todd Golbeck's head right there. I told you he's everywhere.
He is.
But now a little bit different as far as possibly kicking the field goal, but the red team already has their play on 4th down and 6. Now here's the question on coverage. Who do you focus on? Tucker Taylor, Charlie Gerhardt?
That's the perils of being.
Taylor's going to line up as a true tight end. And now a timeout, a whistle's going to blow. And do we own that break still? We sure do. Let's take it right now. 4th down when we come back. It's the All-Stars this afternoon on TV6. Well, you joined us just in time for 4th and 6 here in a tie ball game. And the Red All-Stars sent a man in motion. Nathan Beckman out of Westwood guns it. Gerhard, corner of the end zone, intercepted. It is intercepted by a kid who's been having a great game. That's Blanchard out of Engadine. And the Black All-Stars have held them off. They went one-on-one in a great matchup. Blanchard came out on top.
It's a good pass, just good coverage. 2 All-Stars both going up for the ball, and one of them is going to come down with it.
Well,
they both got hands on it.
Gerhard had the better of it with his touchdown in the 2nd quarter, and Blanchard, when it counted the most, is able to get the pick and almost fell out of the end zone. It was almost flag football at the 1. But Blanchard was able to get his knee down in the checkerboard back there in the Wildcat end zone, and what a tremendous play.
Yeah, starting off at the 20, obviously much better than being pinned at the 1.
So now it is the black team to see if they can get something going. Sundberg from Ishpeming guns it far side. Mardish is able to squirt away from one tackle. Bit of a stiff arm and out to the 40-yard line, and that right there is what the Gladstones, Escanabas, Menominees, Kingsfords of the world will not miss.
Yeah, and that was a great job to bring him down, because if he gets by that last tackle, he is gone.
And Sundberg, a nice job to look off the receiver a little bit. And Hunter Smith had a hand on him.
Noah grew there with the tackle. Holding on and bringing him down. Excellent job.
So a big play here for the black team, who just made a tremendous defensive play. Sundberg with pressure coming. Bang! And he is down at the 30-yard line. Did the ball come out? They're going to say he was down. And you don't see hits like that in this All-Star game too often, but he got rocked. Oh. And was that Logan Krulik who came in? If that's the case, that's his teammate.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know if we're gonna get another look at this one. I don't know if Gavin Sundberg wants another look at this.
That was a tremendous sack.
If that was Ishpeming on Ishpeming, that is one for the ages right there. No, getting there first wearing red is 72. And that is Kane Rawl, like you said, from West Iron County. Holy cow.
That was a hit.
He got absolutely rocked, but what you love about it,
he sprung right back up.
Right back up, and the player who hit him helped him back up.
Even better.
And that'll do it for the 3rd quarter. This should be fun. If you're just joining us, it's a prime spot at 21 up. 4th quarter's next in TV6. 2nd down as we flip sides of the field. Gavin Sundberg is just fine after that big hit. And he's got the football, and he's got a lot of company. Rolling to his left, he's got Mardish, and Mardish needs to get away. He can't, and that's going to be a loss on the play here, Jerry, of almost 5 yards.
Yeah, I can't blame him for taking a chance. With Mardish, you never know, man. He can always, well, not always, but sometimes he can, break that tackle and break one off.
Well, Hunter Smith has had a real nice game defensively over there watching Mardish.
That's
and this is a tough throw for a right-handed quarterback. So you got Mardish, now leaning away from the play, and there comes Hunter Smith right now. He's just not going to let you go.
Yeah, that was good. Nice. He got real low.
So now this is tricky for the black team, as it is 3rd and a mile and a quarter. 3rd and about 20. They officially mark it as 3rd and 19, and since Mardish fell out of bounds, that stops the clock. Take K joining Gavin Sundberg there in the backfield. They've direct snapped to K once. Sundberg back, hit, wrapped up. Good night. Red defense starting to feel it here, Jer.
Yes, indeed. Just didn't have long enough. Great penetration by the line again for the red deep.
So Fink and Locust back now in punt coverage here for the red team. A Cougar and a Copper King, respectively. And that is Tate K, wearing a number 3 from Sault Ste. Marie to kick this ball away. So the red, barring an incident, is going to have pretty good field position. And it's not the greatest kick in the world. It's going to bounce and take a great roll for the black team. My goodness, that's an extra 15, 16, 17 yards now from where that ball hit. So a good kick from K turns into a great roll and still decent field position. I'm looking to see if we have flags on the field. Yes, we do.
Oh, yeah.
Over on that far sideline. It's an illegal motion penalty against the kicking team. And do you make them kick it again? Apparently they are. Illegal shift here against the kicking team. I didn't see anything. That flag flew right away. So Tate K will get another crack at it here from 5 yards deeper towards his own goalpost. And if you're the red team, all that does is move Ojala and Fink up about another 10 yards. We've already had one kick blocked in this game.
Yep.
And that was off the foot of the red team, so maybe they're going to try and return the favor. Guess not. Not nearly as good of a kick. It's going to be Ojala at the 45. Fumbled it. They were going to run a little bit of a reverse, and this might work out really well. Ojala ahead now to the 19, 20-yard line. They were going to run the reverse with him and Fink, and because he bobbled it, he just took off running and got himself about a 25-yard return.
Probably ended up being better. He really saved that play, yeah. Here's the kick.
You see Fink coming, Fink coming over to possibly engage the play, and with that bobble, he had to get out of the way. And all of a sudden, Ojala's off to the races, and he's just winding his way through traffic, and finally brought down by Lenny Maneri of state champion Rapid River. So first down from the 21-yard line officially. Red team led at halftime, 21-14, and now whistle blows. And the second timeout called by the red squad. Intriguing, with a long way to go. There's only going to leave with one timeout.
Yeah, they may want that back later, but they must.
Well, this is such a golden opportunity. You got to take advantage of it.
That makes sense.
You really, really do. You're the red team right now. They started the scoring, a 23-yard fumble return from Mitchell LaGrave out of Norway. That made it 7-0. The black team tied it immediately. 92-yard touchdown return on the kick from Marquette's Ethan Martish. And then the black team went up 14-7 as it was a toss and catch to Luke Terrian from the quarterback Gavin Sunberg. As we get a look at this great touchdown catch, which we are going to talk about next, and that is Charlie Gerhard. And again, you see the celebration a tad early.
Yeah, you want to hold on to that just until you cross.
And again, you can't cover that better if you're Andrew Blanchard out of Engadine. And Blanchard, by the way, at the third quarter, got his revenge.
Sure did. Came up with a huge, huge interception down there.
As we take a look at what was eventually the tying touchdown from Terrian. And now we've got 1st and 10 for the red team trying to get back out on top. Beckman under center. Give inside. Not a lot there for the red team. Didn't see who they gave that to.
It was a big pile there. I missed it before.
Almost looked like a 41, but we don't have one of those.
You know, earlier you were talking about kind of that modified single wing. We used to run single wing when I was at Yale High School.
Okay.
Yale, a small town downstate. It can be tricky. If it's done right, it can really work. But if it goes wrong, it's
well, you need the right kid at center. Right now we're going standard, straight up pro set football. Beckman back across. That's deflected. It'll fall. Incomplete, bringing up 3rd down and manageable. 3rd down and 6. You're definitely in 4-down territory here if you're the red team. But boy, you got to take advantage of this field position right here if you're going to get in here.
Yeah, you hate to see that opportunity go to waste. Maybe throw something to the outsides.
Long talk with Nathan Beckman right there. And at this level of play, I'm guessing most coaches ask for the player input too. When you got a quarterback and players the quality of this, sometimes you want to pick their brain. 3rd down and 6 here, 18-yard line. Beckman out of the eye. He's got pass protection, guns it to the corner of the end zone. Great coverage, but it's caught. Touchdown. That's Eichmeyer from North Central with a 21-yard grab from Beckman, and the red team will take the lead.
Just as they drew it up, he knew right where he was throwing it right away.
Well, it's all timing. Look at that coverage again. This is just a great play from Eichmeyer as Vince Hughes out of Gladstone. You can't cover that any better.
Yeah, you can't. There's nothing you can do with that. Well, they definitely took advantage of that field position.
And a late flag flies in before the extra point. And what are we calling here? Black team's all fired up. 6-point lead for the red, but what are they calling here? Unsportsmanlike conduct. Somebody on that line, my friend, opened their mouth, and the official heard them.
Yeah.
And if you don't think this game is competitive, you
go.
need to come and experience this game.
There you go.
Because these guys, some of them are teammates, and they're on the opposite team wearing black and red. They played high school ball together.
Yeah, we've talked about how everybody's gotten along really good, but
This
let this be evidence that
This
both
is
teams,
for real. Yes.
both teams want to win.
So now, like I said, it might not be the great play that wins it. It could be something like that, which now you make that extra point. You're looking at a 35-yard try for the extra point.
And it very well could come down to 1 point.
And it comes down to 1 point, exactly. So these all-star games, I mean, this has been very, very cleanly played, but somebody chirped at somebody. And that is one thing they will not let go. They've let some hand checks in the passes and stuff like that go, but unsportsmanlike conduct. So a 35-yard extra point is up, and it is good. Wow. Wow.
That was quite a kick.
Sean Sandell's having himself a hell of an afternoon. He really is, the kid from Menominee. Wow. What that does too here, Jerry, is now there's confidence in your kicking game if you need it at the end of the game.
I'd say so.
But what a grab.
Yeah, that
right
was a
there
tremendous touchdown
from
catch.
Eichmeyer from North Central. And again, you can't cover it any better than it was covered.
Why it's an all-star game. Everybody's bringing their best. These are the best football players from across the UP.
And they are putting on a show here this afternoon. So the red team back out on top, 28-21 on a tremendous toss and catch. And you wonder on that unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, was it two guys that played on the same team in high school?
Yeah, very well could have been.
One up in each other, and that just adds to it. Yeah, I'm not in favor of a lot of that stuff, but chirping up your high school boy.
It happens.
Of course it does. The coaches chirp each other up all week long. That's what makes this so fun.
Oh, yeah.
So Sandell's got it on the tee after ripping through a 35-yard extra point. And they are hiding Ethan Martish. And they're going to boot it deep, and they're going to let Martish haul it in. Right at the 10. He's already got a 92-yarder here in the ballgame. Ethan Martish. Can he get the outside corner with a stiff arm? He cannot. Tremendous play wearing red as Trevor Povolo has had a great game out of Kingsford.
Yeah, we've heard that name quite a bit. Excellent tackle. You've got to make that tackle. If you don't, Martish could be gone.
And again, they were hiding Martish behind a couple of players. Really interesting. They wanted to make sure that he got the ball if they kicked it deep. But watch this tackle. I mean, just fundamentally pure, and he just grabbed him and ripped him down.
I've never seen them hide a player like that.
That was funny. We didn't get a real good camera angle of it, but yeah, there's three players, and Martish was kind of standing behind all three of them.
That is diabolical. I love it.
Well, that's the game that's played within the game. These coaches, these players, this is for real. Martish is dancing there in motion, and Sundberg has the snap, guns it straight down the middle of the field for Martish. One-hand grab. Now it's just a simple foot race for Martish. Ethan to the 5, and he is knocked down at the 1-yard line. And Martish, after all that running, appears to be shaken up. And Martish had some injuries this last year. And Ethan Martish is slow to get up. And he's going to take a break as Hunter Smith finally tracked him down.
He came to a stop rather suddenly.
As this is going to go away from us here. Watch that one grab tap. And Hunter Smith did not give up on the play. And with the tap, oh yeah, and it was a lower leg injury that Martish had this last year. And Ethan Martish is up and on his feet.
Oh, that's great.
That was just such an awkward look on his landing, but Ethan Martish is going to be walked over to the sideline there. You see that gingerly, but on his own power.
That's good. That is very good to see.
And I'm hoping for Ethan Martish's sake and for the black team that that's not his day. But unfortunately, as we all know, injuries are a part of it.
They are.
But what a tremendous play and throw from Sundberg. And now the Black All-Stars 1.5 yards out from tying this one up. They spotted actually right at the 2, as you see. Changes a bit of the game plan here now for the black team. That's going to bring Tyrion in. And the Kingsford Flivver gets the snap, and he just does what he does. Dives for the goal line. He did not get there. Close. He is marked right at the point of impact. Oh, my. He did not get in.
Goal line stuff that's the fun stuff for the linemen, because it's the 1-yard line and it's everybody blow them off the line. Push forward.
This is the part of the game, you're right, that's fun, because it is man on man.
Yep.
And don't be surprised if we see another dose of Luke Tyrion.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised either with as tough a runner as he is.
Well, they got the play from the sideline. The clock continues to be in motion, and we're that far away from being tied up here at the Superior Dome. We had a much lower scoring game a year ago, but the intensity level was there, and that intensity level is starting to filter in right now. As Tyrion back there with Tate K, and now a flag flies and a delay of game against the black team. And the flag's going to be picked up. They're going to wave it off because the black team apparently did get the timeout called in time, but not by much. Well, Jerry Tudor, this hasn't been any fun.
Oh, it's been a ton of fun. What a great game. Lots of back and forth action, tremendous athleticism on display from everybody. This has been quite a Saturday.
Well, we take a look at a little bit of the action here. This is the go-ahead touchdown for the red team. And I'm sorry, if you're wearing black and wearing number 22 and you're Reese War out of Lance, you can't do any better. And here is the kickoff that we talked about. And Martish actually breaking on the ball actually from coverage as he was being hidden by a couple of other black jerseyed players. A great tackle on this play. And then from there, the bomb to Martish, one-hand stab, almost outran Hunter Smith. And an injury to Martish has kept him from the ball game here for the black team since that point.
Yeah, we saw him stop very suddenly, kind of awkwardly, but he was able to walk off on his own power.
It is second and less than 1 yard. And Luke Tyrion, the great quarterback from Kingsford, and they put the play in motion. And a direct snap to him, and a great block. He leans in, and we're an extra point away from being tied up. So now the pressure mounts just a little bit more.
This may come down to the very, very last play. This back and forth is so much fun.
Bryce Barrazo's the holder. And it's been Willie Schmidt from Bark River Harris who's going to have to match Sandal from Menominee. Now, they really don't put much pressure on, and the kick is to the upright. He missed it. Oh, he got it. It went from this angle, it looked like it went wide right, but right through it went. Oh, boy. Pressure was on there. And that'll deadlock things at 28 now. From this angle, it looked like he missed that right, but hey, snuck it inside the upright. Now here's the tricky thing too. Remember, for these kickers, Jerry, these uprights are collegiate.
Oh, yes.
They're not as wide as they're used to hit. It's a smaller target.
Yep.
That's why that 35-yard extra point after the penalty was so impressive.
Yeah, even more. Yeah, even more impressive when you factor that in. That was quite a kick.
So as we, I think we've settled the debate of whether this is the beginning of the football season or the end of the football season. This is the end. I mean, because these guys are all gone.
Yeah.
Off to the whole thing. But we're about 5 weeks out from two-a-days.
Yeah, that's right. It sneaks up on you. You know, we talk about this being July 4th week. The summer rolls very quickly through the UP, and that means the fall is not that far off.
And for those of us that love and deal with high school and college football on a regular basis, there's no better time of the year. I know summer's precious, but it just doesn't get any better. And this has turned into such a great event here in the Superior Dome, and this has been as we hoped it would be, as the people that we talked to thought it would be.
Oh, yeah.
And we're going to switch sides. Everybody's lined up wrong. Two teams had to switch sides. Red team was down in the wrong end zone. So everyone's going to have to run about 100 yards.
12 years for this game.
Yep.
You know, and they brought up an interesting point at the banquet. When this UP All-Star football game started, all these kids were in kindergarten.
Well, we have an instance now where for the first time a guy who played in this game is now a head coach in this game, and Cody Kangas, who was a Manistee Emerald from back in the day. So ball is on the tee from Willie Schmidt. A couple of men deep in coverage here for the red team, and they're just going to pooch this one. And Peyton Anderson watches it goes to the far side at the 20-yard line, and getting kicked free for the red team, and open is Trevor Povolo, tied up, wrapped up beautifully, making the play. Reese Wara on a launch. So a long way to go in this one. We're just under 11 minutes here, Jerry, but like I said, he's starting to get the feeling that it's going to be the mistake that makes the difference, maybe not the great play.
Yeah, that very well could be the case. It's
and you hope that's not it, but nerves start to pile on after a while, because you don't want to be that guy that makes that mistake.
No, you do not, but you have to have you also, as we said earlier, you have to have a short memory. If you make a mistake early on in the game, you can't let it shake you throughout your play. But we shall see with under 11 to go. What a great game.
So UP power is the chant. Well, that works for everybody.
Yep.
I formation for Kameen out of Escanaba. And he will drop straight back, now roll to his right. Pressure coming, lobs a pass and drops out of the backfield. And just not able to hold on to it, Seth Aho. And in Seth's defense, there were footsteps behind him. I don't think he would have gone a lot further than that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the coverage wasn't. It's been great.
They were converging, yeah. But Seth's a competitor, and that's one that's going to make him mad when he watches that.
Oh, yeah, you could see his reaction right away.
Yeah. Great career for the Gwynn Model Towners. That brings up 2nd down and 10. Stops the clock, 10:53 to go in a deadlocked ball game here. Doesn't get any better than this. And we've had some lopsided games in the history of this. Not lately, now that they've converted with a draft. As Kameen can't get away. And a big-time rush there from Braden Velmer, the former Negaunee Miner. And a loss on the play of almost 6.
You know, in a sack like that, it really just grinds down your momentum and your rhythm and just halts it.
Well, because now it gets tricky because you're not in 4-down territory and you got 3rd and 15. And like we said, you don't want to make that mistake, and the coaches don't want that either. They don't want to be the one that made that call that, wound up not doing what it was supposed to do.
Yep.
So here we go. This will be interesting as Kameen's going to go shotgun. He's got Gerhard up to the top along with Vince Hughes out of Gladstone. Twins to the left here as well. And Tucker Taylor's one of them. Kameen had time, got away, looking. There's no one open. He's going to gun this downfield. It is over the top of everybody. And a flag flies in. And I think we're going to get Tyler Beauchamp for the push. Black coaching staff, they don't like the call. Nope. As you see Scott Sergila and company right there.
Would that be our first pass interference?
It'll be our first pass interference of the game, and it comes at a fairly crucial time here. Long way to go, and Scott Sergila still on the play. We're going to get a really good look at this one as it's gunned downfield. Body on body, maybe. It's a tight call, but I think that's the right one. And the Black All-Star coaching staff still in the ear of the officials over on that far sideline.
Scott is not happy.
Well, like we said at the outset of this, and as we've been saying, these coaches, these players, this is not your typical Pro Bowl two-hand touch. You know, this is not your NBA All-Star game, which is, you know,
what defense?
Yeah, you know, first to 200 wins. You know, this is not the Major League All-Star game where you pitch an inning and you go home, and you're home before the game's even over.
No, I mean,
this is for real. This is a legit high school ball game with legit intensity. Coaching staffs on the red side screaming out there to their players. 3rd and almost nothing now, and Kameen's going to fall forward. Depends on the spot, but I think he got it.
I think from up here it looks like he got it too.
Boy, he's right at it though. They stop the clock and they give him the first down. So the red team now to the 35-yard line of their own. And I'm hoping we don't have to look back at a pass interference call that was pretty close as being a deciding factor in this ball game. But the Reds moving now and under 10 minutes to go.
You know, and it very well could be. I mean, it helped keep the drive alive. Scott is still talking.
Still chirping at him. And I don't blame him. It was a tight call.
It
that
was.
Could have gone either way. But now you got to coach your team.
Yep.
1st and 10 here for Kameen and the offense of the Red All-Stars. And they give. Right side, finally an opening. And getting through is Brody Sandville from Gladstone, and that was just guts. After he got through the opening at the line, he had to take on both the linebacker and the DB.
Yep. And from the lineman's perspective, that's what happens when you make your blocks. You give your running back a hole.
Yeah, we haven't seen an opening like that at the offensive line really all game.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah, the line play's been fantastic.
And a great fake because the camera went with him. And you see Brody Sandville right there just doing the damage as he goes. I formation again here for Kameen. They're keeping it rather conservative, and they'll just, why not? It worked once, works again for Sandville, and a gain about 6.
I've been the guy behind the camera who gets faked out before.
Oh, I've been the guy in the headset that's called, you know, things that didn't happen because where's the football? Oh, it's in the end zone. Perfect. Nice thing about most of the calls that I do are on radio, so I can make it up you know, on why I got it wrong. Or half the time, if it's like an away game, no one knows you got it wrong.
There you go.
Except you, Greg Nelson. You know all the time.
He pays very close attention.
Oh, yes. I get held to the vest very close on that one here. Great finish here. 28 up here between the red and the black. Kameen with an I formation in behind him. He's got protection. Craig Kameen gunning near side, got his man Ojala, overshot him. Great coverage wearing black once again from Caden Polizer of West Iron County. And it's interesting because from up here you don't really get a chance to see like how close in comparison these guys are in size. Oh, until we get them running right into your living room. You know, and good coverage, overshot, but you know, Polizer's a big kid back there playing DB.
Yeah, another thing to point out, too, it's the 4th quarter. These are 15-minute quarters.
Yep.
And he's still got the strength to overshoot his guy. What's adrenaline? Everybody's excited.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting a little amped up here, and I'm sure you are at home in what's going to happen here to end this All-Star game. Kameen on 3rd and 5, guns it. Man open right through the fingertips of Eichmeyer, who had the great touchdown catch earlier. And that one was a turn to run before you had the ball. Now you got to be careful if you're the red team because it is 4-down territory if this is the 1st, 2nd, or 3rd quarter. Now you're in a tie ball game here.
Yeah.
And you're at midfield. You pretty much have no choice but to kick this away.
That last pass was a bullet, too.
Yeah, that was more of an instance of he almost threw it at him.
Yeah.
Instead of throwing it to him. But Eichmeyer will tell you that's a more than a catchable ball, but he turned to run, and that's human nature. They line up to kick this one away. The black team has no one back in coverage. They've already got one block here in the football game. Long count, and they do pass it back, and this is just going to be, it's a matter of did he kick it too far. The answer is no. That takes a nice little spin bounce to the 14-yard line. And so for the second consecutive time, Parker Wilson has one inside the 20. The last one was inside the 10. Actually, this one's inside the 15. So Parker Wilson having that one blocked. Getting the job done once again. We owe you a break, but we're going to hold on to them because we're going to be having a lot of timeout situations in my mind here once we get down under about 5 minutes. I know we owe you 2 breaks, but no. Until we got a legit timeout, we're going to stay right here. We got the 1? Okay. So we're going to hold on to that one as Sundberg, again, looks left. Gavin Sundberg across the middle behind the receiver this time, Luke Terrian. Those two teamed up for a touchdown toss in the first half, and this one from Sundberg is behind it.
Terrian's had a great game.
Very, very quiet in here all of a sudden.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of nerves. Nobody wants to be the one to make that mistake, like you said, and everybody's just anxious to see how these last 8 minutes are going to pan out.
I'm surprised the fans are as quiet as they are, but they're on the edge of their seat right here. As Sundberg goes back, looks left, and he's got his man. Guess who's back in the ball game? There's Ethan Martish. Good to see him back in. And about a 6-yard gain. Now, Ethan, if you're just joining us here, had about an 80-yard reception here, got ran down by Hunter Smith at about the 1, and came up a little gimpy on that ankle, but appears no worse for wear as he's just jogging around and doing his thing. Probably just a retape job, and away he goes.
Yeah, it's great to see that. He kind of stopped awkwardly after being brought down at the 1, and we're glad to see him back in the game.
Halfway through the fourth quarter, it is deadlocked at 28, as you see, and we have been back and forth really in this ball game. 7-0 for the Red, 14-7 Black, 21-14 at halftime, the Red team. Coming down the wire as you hoped that it would, and a whistle blows, and a timeout. Okay, so Black, so we owe you the break. Let's just take it right now, get it out of the way. Should be a fun finish. You'll have it next to TD6. Third and manageable 4 here for the Black team as Gavin Sundberg is back. He looks, he's got his man, Terrian, just enough for the first down. As a whole lot of red jerseys collapsing on it. Leading the charge is Brent Locus from Calumet. But it's enough for the first down and a very simple, quick toss and catch. And I think you're going to see the playbook on this one contract just a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. We were in this drive now. We've got 7 minutes left. Do you run down and punch it in, or do you want to kind of take your time and eat up some clock?
Well, here's the situation. The red team has 1 timeout remaining. The Black team has 2. So game management's going to be paramount here in the last 6:50. As Tate K in the backfield, but it's Sundberg who takes the draw. And across they got Tyrion, and a flag flies in, and we might have our first holding call of the game.
Oh, that's right. We've not had a holding yet.
Pass is complete for a short gain. But from where that came from, that is generally in the area of offensive holding. Oh, my goodness. You never see that. A chop block.
Wow.
And that's going to be something off the play. I don't know if we're going to get a chance to see that, but that's something at this level you just never see that call. But that's a 15-yarder the wrong way if you're wearing black. And again, what did we say about mistakes?
Yes.
Possibly making the difference. There's a big one on the Black squad. So that's now 1st and 5th. Make that 1st and about. Good grief. Spot from there. 1st and 21. 22. 23 officially. So now the Black team with their work cut out for him. Sundberg tries to cut up ahead. Someone's just got him by the jersey. And how much strength does that take? Was that Trevor Hendrickson out of Calumet?
With a tackle, I think so.
48, I believe it was. And that's just pure strength on strength.
Yep, it was.
And a huge play because Sundberg's a kid that if he gets loose, bad things happen if you're on defense.
He's got wheels, as they say.
Well, you love the athleticism of everything we're watching here.
That's one of the best parts.
Here's the fun part, though, because the athletes have done their point to get us to 28 all. Now it's up to the coaches.
That is correct, yes.
Loss on the play of 3. Sundberg back. He looks. He's got a man, Martish, far sideline, and he over the top. Martish had to do a little pirouette, and by the time he got there, Hunter Smith from Ishpeming was able to knock it out of his hands.
You bring up a great point that now the strategy is so much more palpable and in play.
Well, 3rd and forever. And again, you kind of have to be a little careful here if you're the black team, but you look at number 6 in the red helmet right there, and you know that if you can get him the ball in space,
they can help give you some breathing room at the bare minimum.
Yeah. Working his way, in my mind, towards possibly an MVP. With the big catch, he had the big return for the touchdown.
Yeah.
You know, he's definitely got to be considered in the mix. The timeout's going to be called here by the black team.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
This is a key play. This is a key play because you need something big, but you don't want something so off the wall that you mess it up yourselves.
Not being so close to your own end zone, no.
Yeah. Well, our next telecast is going to come up, I believe, in September with volleyball.
Oh, excellent.
With Northern Michigan and Tech, and then, of course, there's the football game at Tech this year. And they've been doing a lot of work up at Sherman Field to redo things. The old bleachers are gone. They're they're really, really up in their game at Michigan Tech. Of course, Northern plays in this great facility.
Sure. Yeah, we love seeing that's a real bonus to see facilities get upgraded and stuff. I know Houghton High School just had their field redone. It looks amazing.
Calumet right now redoing.
Oh, are they good?
Everything. Yep. I don't know if they're doing turf. I don't know. Marquette's done turf. Houghton's done turf. They passed a bond image at Calumet, and I know they're looking because the field was kind of rough for a while. The track is an old facility. Sure. Great place. What a home field advantage the Copper Kings had there.
Oh, yeah.
But they're upgrading and doing some things which are going to be real exciting. So, football in the UP, despite a lot of, teams going 8-player, and there's always the talk about enrollment and all this other stuff, there's a lot of football that is alive and well up here, and that's so exciting to see.
I have the privilege of getting to shoot all these games as videographer for TV6, and I see most of the stands are full at just about every game.
Well, now it's 3rd and 26 for the black team. And that's going to put Terrian in at quarterback. Nope, Sundberg is actually going to go in under center. Kay goes in a little bit of a waggle. Long count, and they fake the pitch. Sundberg is back, looking, and they just throw it away. Martish couldn't get open, and double coverage, a heads-up play by the red defense. Tate Kay, however, unfortunately, was wide open out of the backfield, wearing black down here at about the 30-yard line. And again, sometimes when you get into a situation like this, you have your mind made up, and it looked like that was the case on this because they went left to Martish immediately.
Yeah, you can see that. Sometimes you've got your spot picked already, and that's not always the best. You got to have your head on a swivel. But now they really are going to be relying on their defense here big time.
Well, Tate Kay will be back to kick, and the very dangerous Fink is back, the Superior Central Cougar. And again, he's another kid. He gets loose. Bad things happen if you're on the receiving end. This is not a good kick. And it takes a red bounce at the 40-yard line. And so with 5:24 to go, the red team in great situation here because now the black team, Jerry, burned both their timeouts on that drive. So the red team, 5:23 to go, one timeout. And Sean Sandall in their quiver right now. And remember, he hit a 35-yard extra point.
Indeed he did. After the black defense now, it's time to dig deep. You got to shut this down and get the ball back in your offense's hands.
Peyton Anderson late to the lineup here, but the former Negaunee Miner will line up at the fullback behind Craig Kameen from Escanaba. They've been moving the football, and they give on the right side. And getting out of the pile in a hurry is Sandville, and he is going to be gone. Brody Sandville from Gladstone from 40 yards away. and the best opening on the offensive line we've seen yet this afternoon.
Definitely. Definitely. That was a big hole. Everybody hit their assignments. Here's a good look at it. Yeah, he had plenty of room. Got a couple of hands on him, but nothing to even slow him down. Off and running. There is your touchdown. He is pumped. Look at him at the end.
You think these kids aren't interested in winning this game? So now here comes a very critical point of the ball game here, because this extra point could mean the difference between maybe a tie or a win. And Sandville launches it towards the uprights, and he has been solid this whole game.
That is a good kicker.
40-yard run, and again, straight from scrimmage. We've not seen a whole lot of goofy things so far in this game, which makes you wonder what's coming next.
Yeah, I feel like last year there were quite a few trick plays. I think a couple from each side.
Well, again, different coaching staffs have different philosophies.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've talked a lot about Scott Sergila. He's a straightforward guy. Cody Kangas, more the same.
Great look at this run. Like I said, a couple of hands on him, but nothing to even slow him down there.
Best line blocking we've seen from either team.
And that's saying something, too, because, again, these are all-stars. And a lot of the skill positions, of course, they're going to get the light shined on them because they're out running in open space and everything. But don't kid yourself. These linemen are good.
So what does the red team have now with no timeouts and 5:16 to go? Did the red team score too fast?
Great point. Yeah. As you mentioned earlier, the strategy, the game planning, game management by the coaches, that's when this is going to come into play now.
So a 7-point lead here for the red team, who has reclaimed the lead after the 1-yard run from Luke Terry a little bit ago. And I'm running out of room on my makeshift score sheet here, so.
No shortage of highlights here.
No kidding. So Sandal with it on the tee. And number 11 working, where is Ethan Mardish? Well, he certainly isn't right there, as it pops up to one of the up men. And for the black squad, falling forward is Lundquist from Rapid River. And he's going to give the black team decent field position here, Jerry. But again, now is where this all-star game is going to land firmly on the shoulders of the coaching staff.
Yeah, especially with the timeout situation.
The red has one timeout, the black none to save them. So the only way to stop the clock is to first down.
Yep.
Incompletion, or you run it out of bounds. More often than not, you don't want the incompletion.
Nope.
And if you're running out of bounds, that usually means you're running into trouble.
Well, also, red team, they'll be trying to keep them inbounds, of course, too.
Well, here's the cool thing is, you take a look at up and down these lineups. I don't think we're done scoring for either team.
I think that's
right now, especially when you got the wheels out there that you do. So Sundberg stays in at quarterback. The former Hematite looks to his left. Guess who he's looking? Far side. Popped up in the air. Intercepted. And the red team up the far sideline. And this might be the final nail in the coffin. It is what? A touchdown call. And Travis Ojala from Calumet. That might just do it, as this is off the receiver. Hit him in the helmet, and Ojala playing center field grabs it, and I got to take a look because the defender was coming hard and had a real good angle and pushed him into the pylon. The ball was over the pylon, so Ojala, that is one happy former Copper King, and rightfully so.
Ojala, where have I heard that name before?
Yeah. Good grief. And so the extra point try coming against a very, very deflated team wearing black, and this one is also good. 35 yards.
And with a play like that, the interception's not on, that fault is not on the quarterback. It got popped up. It happens. But a heads-up play by Ojala to, as you say, play center field, come down with it, and then he was off to the races. And how important to get that football out, too, just inside the pylon.
So smiles abound on that red sideline right now.
Those are some happy fellas.
However, with the explosiveness of this black offense, we may not be done yet.
Yeah, kick return we've seen brought back for a touchdown. saw that in the first quarter.
Well, if they kick it anywhere near Ethan Martish, I will fall over.
Yeah, but they might hide him again. You never know, right?
Well, I don't think they're going to kick deep. I really don't.
Just squib it or, yeah.
Still 4:49 remains. But again, you're kicking to a black team that has no timeouts. And Martish actually not out there right now.
Well, they might have heard you and just say they're probably not going to kick deep.
Well, they might be putting, not that the red team's going to go onside kick, but they might be putting better hands team a little further forward because, well, you see, Brent Lundquist right there from Rapid River. He's the one who got the last squib kick. And Sandahl now has it on the tee. The whistle blows. And this is the largest lead for either team here in this ballgame. They're going to bomb this one deep. It's going to bounce and roll out of bounds. And a heads-up play, really, right there from Scheiding out of Munising. Just let that ball roll out of bounds because that's going to give the black team really good field position.
Yeah, you don't want to touch that one. But there's that instinct to the ball, get it.
Yep. Well, it's they're football players.
Yeah.
Sometimes making the right decision is really hard to do.
Yeah, it goes against instinct, yeah.
So that'll mark the ball at the 35. And if you thought the stops were going to get pulled out before by the black team, now down 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, they've got no choice. So buckle up. It could be a wild 4 minutes and 42 seconds remaining. These folks are all all-stars on the field, and they've all got plenty of talent.
So Gavin Sundberg continues to roll the offense. He's got Tate K with him there in the backfield. And the ever-dangerous Luke Terrian split out to his right. Martish out top. And they're looking for Martish. He got some separation. Martish is there. Off his fingertips. No flag flies. I agree with the no call. It was tight, but I agree with that. And Martish, again, he's 100% after being taken out a little while ago.
Yes, he is.
And Sundberg, unfortunately for Sundberg, he kind of stared him down. But Martish had some separation. And the defender falling down. Now, Martish is able to get to that ball. He's gone.
Oh, for sure.
2nd down and 10, 35-yard line. Clock stops here. The black team down 2 scores. Sundberg looks right, fakes left. Why not? Martish once again got some separation. It's broken up beautifully. And who's over there? Hunter Smith again from Ishpeming. And Hunter Smith has had a great day on Ethan Martish.
He definitely has. And that play right there is just a great example. You can't do any better as a defender.
So 3rd down now, and the black team all not pulling any punches. I think I know who they're looking for.
Yeah.
And that is a great defensive play. That's all that is. Martish was in position to make the catch. And Hunter Smith, what a game he's having. Well, guess who? Split out to the top again. Hunter Smith on him. Sundberg back, looks, waits, going for Terry, and overshot him, intercepted. And that, my friend, should just about do it. Christopher Karn out of Escanaba is going to get knocked out of bounds. And with no timeouts remaining, the 2nd interception of this 4th quarter should just about put the exclamation point on this one.
Yeah, from here, the ball in the hands of the red team, you're just going to run the clock out.
And Sundberg did a nice job to look it off and just plain old missed. Yeah, I don't know if the receiver was supposed to be further downfield or if just he amped up and overshot him.
There might have been a tip at the line, too. I think a guy might have got a hand on that.
Well, either way, I mean, it didn't change the flight of the ball.
No.
But you see Paul Jacobson right there and the coaching staff of the red team. Mike Baruti right there out of West Iron County. That's going to be a happy group of guys. And the red team really nothing but quickly running the football. Single receiver either side. So Cody Kangas, now I don't remember, did he win as a player?
No, he did not.
Okay.
And the only reason I know that is because joining him on his coaching staff is his younger brother.
Mm-hmm.
And his younger brother reminded that he was the first Kangas to win in an all-star game.
So it's a flock of Kangases here. Cody Kangas, the head coach.
Yep.
Garden Tyler and Father Todd, the assistants. Paul Jacobson from Negaunee, Mike Christian from North Dickinson, Mike Baruti from West Iron County was a head coach last year in this ball game. So no gain on the play, and they are going to let as much of this game clock wind down. The official signals 5 seconds to go. And under center they go. Kameen, Gibbs, Beckman, got around the corner. This could be dangerous. Beckman, he's got himself the first down, trying to stay in bounds, and he does not. It's a first down, but that will stop the clock.
Yeah, at this point you want to just
get the first down and fall down. I mean, I understand Nathan Beckman's a competitor, and I don't think there's any jeopardy of that being a key play here in this ball game. But he tried to stay in bounds. He really, truly did. You can watch him hesitate here, turn back in, and he got turned back and popped there and knocked out of bounds. But either way, it's a first down, and like I said, that clock's just going to continue to roll. And another hush has fallen over the Superior Dome here. Boy, when this place is quiet, it's quiet, isn't it?
Yeah, that's fair to say.
But these fans have been very, very much entertained. Falling down and almost fumbling the ball away is Kameen. But he'll hold on for a loss of 2. And just the first really up close. We've seen some bad snaps out of the shotgun, but that was the first problem we've had on a under center snap here all game. As we're under 3 minutes to go here in Marquette.
Well, Mike, Ludlam's going to have quite a few highlights to show on the news.
Oh, yeah.
Very different game from last year.
Yeah, 14-7 final last year.
Yeah.
But again, competitive. And just that turnover at the end, really the difference, and that's how the red team is up by a pair. Kameen ducks in under center, going to give to Beckman, cuts back up the middle, gets buried by a host of black jerseys. The black team can do nothing to stop the clock. And we'll be well under 2 minutes by the time this play gets run here by the Red All-Stars. Well, congratulations to Todd Goldbeck and the entire staff from Excel. Again, another grand slam, to use a baseball term, here in a football game.
Yeah, it's been a great year. Everybody had a great time all week long with everything they've done. We've talked about Bay Cliff, the skills competition. Mike covered that earlier. It's been a great week, a lot of fun for all the players, for their family and friends, and it culminates here with this great game. And
again, the crowds are starting to show this is becoming a football event here in the Upper Peninsula. And again, a reminder that this football event, as they keep it inside with Kameen, and he's going to gain about 4 on the play. And we'll be under a minute to go here on 4th down in just a bit here. This is actually a carryover from an event from the 1940s and early 1950s.
Really?
There was a UP All-Star football game, 1946 to 1951. It was played in Negaunee every year. And after the first year, the MHSAA told the coaches, you cannot coach in that game. If you do, you're not allowed to coach your team the following year.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. And so they brought in coaches from colleges and high school coaches in Wisconsin. One of the great names in Wisconsin high school football was a guy by the name of Win Brockmeyer, and he coached in the 1950 UP All-Star game. Now, other states have All-Star games, but all of those started popping up in the 1980s.
Sure.
So think of how progressive the Upper Peninsula was 60, 70 years ago.
Well ahead of the curve.
We'll take a break on that last time out. Final 52 in a moment here on TV6. Well, here's your chance here, buddy.
Oh,
Jerry Tudor said he wanted to see a field goal. This will be from 30 yards out. And remember, this kid hit an extra point from 35. Here comes the rush, a little chip shot towards the upright, and he missed it to the right-hand side. Well, when it didn't matter at all, Sean Sandel with the miss, but he kept that out of harm's way, and the clock is running for some reason right now. There they go.
I think it's safe to say he still had a great game.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And really, quite honestly, that 35-yard extra point was a real key in this red team staying alive in this ball game, because if they don't get that, that changes everything. As you take a look, and he missed it pretty good. See, we're at a bad angle up here. We're almost a little too high.
Yes. Yeah, it can be. Field goals, for sure, are really tricky to spot correctly from up here.
So, again, a 2-touchdown deficit here for the black team. And do they – that's the curiosity. What do you do? Do you do everything you can to get Martish open and see if he can sprint downfield and then get an onside kick and do it again? That, unfortunately for the black team, that's about all you've got right now.
I'd say
as far
so.
as, you've got some big play guys. but no one with the speed of Martish.
Terrian's had a heck of a game, too.
Yes, he has, but he's more of a power guy.
Yes.
And Sandberg up, and he'll just get wrapped up nicely. As getting in on the defensive side of things, Jonah Miller from Engadine, he's had a great game. Andrew Blanchard on the other side from Engadine, also a good game for the black team.
Oh, yeah, we heard that name before.
Matter of fact, he had that big interception.
Yep, and managed to stay in the end zone.
Yes. The black team taking their time. And depending on what's called, this could be the last game here of the 2019 installment of the UP Football All-Star Game. And they'll misdirect some personnel. And Sundberg's got 4 seconds on the clock. Gavin ducks in. And that does it. They don't even bother to snap it. 42-28. The red team with a strong fourth quarter. And they win the 12th installment here of the UP All-Star football game. Don't know if we're going to be doing the highlight thing or not. We've got plenty of them here from this game, that is for sure. And the highlights tonight really include a little bit of everything. We had a special teams touchdown. We had 2 defensive touchdowns. I mean, we really saw it all. As you see the championship trophy being wheeled out. Now the small one right there goes to the coach of last year's winner.
Oh.
So as you see the handshake line, and sadly for these players and these coaches, this is it after a full week.
Yeah.
You know, it's amazing, you know, how when you show up on Monday as an all-star football player, you got this whole week in front of you, and before you know it, it's over.
Yeah, and some of these players, we heard a few that are going to go on to NMU and to Tech and to St. Norbert's actually had a couple of players too, but for a bunch of these guys, this is it. This will be their final organized football game, and we hope they left it out on the field. It sure looked like they did.
Yep, absolutely. And like I said, you know, in a lot of games, you know, the fists go up, good game, good game, good game, good game. You see these guys, I mean, these are actual handshakes. You know, you see a hug right there.
Yep.
You know, a great game, and how odd, like I said, but how wonderful with the draft that goes on before this.
I love that idea.
You've got, you know, guys from the same high school team on opposite teams here representing the red and the black. So a lot of fun, great afternoon of football, and the fun part is for us, Jerry, the high school football season is going to be here in about, I don't know, less than 2 months.
Not too shabby.
Not at all. So what a great installment here for the UP All-Star Football. That's Todd Goldbeck, as you see, down on the field.
Kind of shuffling players around here, getting everybody organized.
And as we told you at the outset of this telecast, this is not going to be two-hand touch.
No.
And the NFL Pro Bowl, this was laid out there. And a great win.
But it was clean, though, too.
Absolutely.
We had that one play.
We had an unsportsmanlike conduct call on an extra point.
And that was from some chirping.
Yeah, someone said something that they, you know, and it's football. They do what they do.
Yep.
So you see the championship trophy, and that's Todd Goldbeck, who, again, has put on another real home run here in this UP All-Star football game. So
pretty special
red team
12th year for them.
With the Kangas family out of Manistee.
Yep.
Guard from Pickford. So congratulations all the way around, Jerry. Great job. Enjoyed our time with you as always.
Always a blast. Thanks, Mark.
All right, so 42-28. That team on the left is the 2019 winner of the All-Star game.
Thank you, Mark and Jerry. Quite a ball game at the Superior Dome for the 12th annual UP Football All-Star Game. Your final score, once again, the red 42 and the black 28. Those 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns really turned the game around for the Red All-Stars. After the game, a number of awards were passed out for Team Black. Kingsford's Luke Terrian was the offensive most valuable player, and on defense it was Engadine's Andrew Blanchard. The character award went to Marquette's Alex Canute. For the red team, the winning team, Westwood's Nathan Beckman was the offensive MVP, playing both running back and quarterback. Travis Ojala, the linebacker from Calumet, was the defensive MVP, and his teammate, Brent Locus, another linebacker, was the character most valuable player. That will do it for our coverage of the 12th annual UP Football All-Star Game. Again, the final score, Red 42, Black 28. I'm Mike Ludlam. For many people involved with this telecast, thanks for watching and enjoy your weekend.